something new, a better part of you. You feel it in your soul, a leap from head to toe. I'll go just alone. I can't stop scratching my mind. I gotta keep asking why. Stop telling me all the time everything will be fine. I can't stop scratching my mind. I don't know.
What is up, Bulls Nation? Welcome to a night of Valorant. I'm going to be casting here today. My name is Christian. I'm joined here by Eliza.
Hello.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing.
Yeah. We got USF Gold taking on Mizzou Esports. Both teams 3-2 on the season. 2 matches left to their seasons. And some big implications here for playoffs.
Absolutely. This is going to be a pretty important game for these teams to get to playoffs with.
Yeah. So, USF have lost the first 2 series of the season, they lost. And then since then, they've won 3 series in a row. Mizzou, on the other hand, they beat Stony Brook 2 weeks ago. They've kind of gone back and forth with wins and losses, but they got swept last week by Wichita State, who they are in a 4 tie with, a 4-way tie with, yeah. So for playoffs, just kind of we're getting to that point in the season, so it's something kind of to start looking at. We got top 4 make playoffs from each division, so you have to be in that top 4 to qualify. So for the division that USF is in, the UN10N conference, it's GMU in first, Stony Brook in second, and then a 4-way tie for third. All these teams are tangled up: Mizzou, Cleveland State, Wichita State, USF, and then tied for 7th is Western Kentucky and Old Dominion.
Yeah, a lot of ties going on. So these upcoming games are going to be very, very important, especially with that 4-way tie. There's going to be a lot of fighting very hard to try and get into those finals.
Yeah. So Mizzou, they have us this week, and next week they have Western Kentucky, which I won't say is an automatic win, but it's gonna be.
We can't say that.
It's gonna be close to it. But for the rest of it, in that 3-way tie, it's crazy. USF, we have Mizzou, and then next week we play Wichita State.
Ooh.
And that both those teams are in that top or the tie for third. Wichita State plays Cleveland State this week, who's in that tie for third, and us next week. And then Cleveland State is playing Wichita State this week and Stony Brook next week. So all these teams fighting for that last spot.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tough to clinch that.
Yeah, this is just a lot of determining games back to back, even happening at the same time potentially. So just a lot to keep an eye on overall, but exciting stuff coming up. Some great teams involved in this tie. So this is going to be very, very interesting to watch.
Yeah, no, for sure. USF has been bouncing back recently. I mean, 3 wins in a row. They got to be feeling pretty good off of that. Mizzou kind of looking to rebuild some momentum here coming off that 2-0 loss. A lot of history here between these 2 teams. USF and Mizzou, I mean, they've been in the same conference since before UN10N was a thing. So they've been battling it out. And it's kind of just like a bragging rights thing at this point. Like they need to beat each other.
Yeah, absolutely. That old school rivalry, I guess, coming through. Not super old, but a lengthy rivalry.
Yeah. So we have the rosters here. USF has all of their starting players, no subs in, and I believe Mizzou is around the same. These are the starting rosters here for USF Valorant. Look at those arms on Velo. Let's take a second to talk.
Vel is absolutely built, but tonight playing for USF Valorant Gold, we have Aquanix, Davy Gravy, Hades, Spider, and Vel. These are our strong players we love to see each week. They've been playing so good these past 3 weeks. It's just going to be really exciting games tonight.
Dude, Spider's signature is so funny. There is just like absolutely nothing. Oh, we got a new graphic here. I haven't even seen this before. You haven't seen
this yet?
I have not seen
this.
We've
had this for a couple weeks now, but yeah, this is our map pick. We are going to start with USF's veto map. This is the map they said they don't want to play. This is a ban. So incoming is Pearl. This does not shock anyone. No. USF Gold hates playing Pearl for some reason. They get banned every single series.
I mean, it's a tough map to play.
For sure.
It's kind of just like what you have been practicing. You don't want to practice every single map and be well-versed on all maps. You kind of want to have, stuff. But Mizzou opts to ban Bind. USF had a good match, I believe, last week on Bind, so it'll be interesting to see what maps play out here. Abyss, of course.
Who's shocked? Who's surprised? USF has been playing so strongly on Abyss. It was a map that they went from banning instantly into like getting used to it and playing it. So really exciting to see. Just always good to see like a good map for your team.
Yeah, no, definitely. They definitely play their roles super well on there. Haven is selected by Mizzou, the first kind of default map, and USF will have the opportunity to ban here. They're going with Breeze. I haven't seen them play much Breeze, I don't believe, but
yeah. Usually this ban ends up being Bind, but seeing as that was already taken out by Mizzou, USF is going to go for that Breeze ban. Not too shocking, but Breeze, with those recent changes, I think they wanted to experiment with it for a little bit, but overall kind of just ended up not really clicking with it. It's a tough map.
No, for sure. Corrode is the last veto, making the decider. Waiting for it to pop up here as Split.
Yeah, Split is a map that we see probably every series just about. So not too surprising that this ends up being our decider map. If we get to Game 3 tonight, hoping we do, could be some really interesting gameplay coming up. So, yeah, we've got a good lineup here, Abyss, Haven, and Split.
No, definitely. These maps are all very similar in their, how you want to attack it. If you look at Abyss, Haven, and Split, I mean, all three of those maps, you kind of want to control some of mid. In Haven, you want to be taking Garage, taking front B, just kind of taking all that space. Abyss, you want to have some mid control, some mid presence. Same with Split. Split mid is the bread and butter of that map.
Yeah, absolutely. All three of these maps have a very large mid as well. Like some maps don't have as much space in their mid sections, but these three maps have very, very much space to take up. They have very long angles at that, so they can be very oppressive at times.
They can indeed. It's going to be interesting to see what sides both teams start on. USF played Abyss last week, starting on defense. They actually started defense for both maps, and they were able to come through with the win. So see how they decide to pull through here.
Very excited to see some Abyss gameplay once again. USF has been so strong on that map this semester, so it's always really nice to see USF doing really well. We're going to go into game here. A little bit behind, but it's all good. We've got Davy Gravy on that Sova. We've got Aquanix on that Astra. And then we've got Hades on that Chamber. I know this for a fact. It happens every week, and I love to see it every single time. At that, we've got, I think, Vel is on KO and Spider's on Jet.
Mizzou's comp is actually pretty interesting. Going for a quick B hit here, though, as Astra, Walrus, the only player on this site. Sova makes a quick rotate over. Keep in mind, Walrus is actually Aquanix. If people don't know, he decided to change his name.
He wanted to, become an animal. Celebrating the new Pokemon announcement.
Yeah. A pivot here into mid as Hades is posted up with the TP set up into Link. Right on the other side of him. They're unaware. He finds the first shot, looked for the second, can't land the kill. Drew's going to go down early. That's an early numbers advantage here for USF, but it comes with giving up mid control as Hades opting to back up. Now the rotate into A. Vel and Jet sitting on A. They're going through CT. They're going CT to B.
This is such an interesting rotate, and you would think it risky normally, but USF pushing in on this flank here makes it so they can take it. Hades gets that clean headshot onto Sam.
Sam just completely unaware of these players. Hades finding a nice shot there. Now the 3 players for Mizzou still walking up here, cutting sound, not wanting to give away their positions, but they are fully committed. Smoke goes down for main, and the plant will go down back site. Spam's trying to come through. Hades reclaiming this by himself, not waiting for his team. Will it pay off? He finds one shot, but can't find the second. Panda finding a good trade there. USF in a 4v3 and needing this pistol round. The shots come through. Spider can't find them either. Panda finding 2 kills here in this post plant. 2 of them are low. Davey finds 2 kills. B-Dog finds a trade. Make it 2. And now the 1v1 with Vel. Vel lands the shots and has the time. USF take round 1.
That was a little bit stressful for a moment. USF was on the ups, and then, you know, peeking into that Omen there was coming out as a difficult fight for them. But Davey Gravy with that 2K clutched up there on site, opening up the opportunity for Vel to come in and get that final kill.
Now we can talk about Mizzou's comp here a little bit. Running that Waylay and the Veto, as well as Teo, it's a pretty interesting combo. And the Omen, too. We normally see Astra now. I feel like Astra's kind of been meta for this map, but they're rocking the Omen, and that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, especially on this map. Astra's super strong because her stars, you know, they have the unlimited range. You can put one down across the map. You're not, like, stopped from doing that. So that's kind of where Omen's limitations come in. He has a little bit of a limit on that smoke distance. But on top of that, Astra's utility outside of the smokes, her stuns, her pulls are very, very strong. Spider getting a clean pick here, but is going to get found out for a second. Gets that pick, gets taken out by Sova.
Walrus finding the cleanup there. It is a 3v2, 2 guns down on the side of USF. Going to be 2 guns or 1 gun on site. And they're going to have to retake here and be a little bit careful because they could easily throw this if they're able to find the shots. Alec, though, going for that jump peek and losing half of his health for it. Omen spotting from main. Gets smoked off here. Oh, it was a recall. The shot almost went through. Now Vel going for the swing. He gets 1 body. Panda, though, with the Marshall, finds 1 kill. Vel can't land these shots. He's trying his best. Hades finds a kill, and now he'll be able to hold him. Panda is going to fall. Hades making that scary round a little less scary, and they're going to win their anti-eco.
Absolutely. That was a little bit of a stressful round, very tense, but Hades, that Outlaw, you know, the Outlaw is always going to be very, very oppressive in these early rounds in the halves, just because it can do so much damage when you don't have those shields online. But with that being said, Mizzou's going to go for the force here. They're going to buy up, they're going to buy actual rifles, and they're going to buy full shields for the most part, waiting on their Teo to decide on that. But overall, Mizzou's money is not looking terrible as long as they can take this round under their belt.
B-Dog on Sova is 2 off ult here. They might try to slow down a little bit. They are a little bit. They're split up in a 3-2. USF taking some mid control as Mizzou has completely given it up. Look at Jet just so far down into mid. Might be able to catch out this Omen.
Yeah, Spider just kind of being able to run it down mid, basically, taking up all of this space. As we talked about earlier, the mid space on this map is super important. There's so many angles that you can get out of that. So for them to be able to go all the way onto this flank here, like a very aggressive flank.
They come.
Vel
able to find the kill onto Panda. Are they aware of Teo as well? Hiding behind the pillar. Hades finds a kill. And now on their bonus round, USF have the numbers advantage, but Mizzou have B-site.
At that, USF on a bit of a save round here, so them getting those guns down and into their own hands is a great benefit to them. Spike is planted here. Trying to get some of that information into CT. Not getting anything just yet. But Aquanix going for that peek. Takes a little bit of damage for it, though.
Drew finding that kill onto Walrus as USF are going to lose one of their numbers, one of their guns. All three players here from Mizzou confined to CT and site. Hades going forward, finding a kill. B-Dog finds one of his own. Now a 3v2 as Hades trying to flood out is going to get caught out. B-Dog finding another 2 kills. Vel with the Vandal in hand and no time to work with. Tries to find it, but B-Dog, well, a 4K is going to close this one out.
Big 4K coming out from Mizzou's B-Dog. Great plays all around. They did take advantage of their spending. You know, they took advantage of those guns. They did lose a few of them early, but overall they did come out on top. And that's going to put USF on the back foot just a little bit. But they do have some ultimates coming online soon enough. They've got that Tour de Force online and already popped for this round. You know, it's a free gun. No need to spend any more money. Gives, you know, Chamber an opportunity to save, which is always a good thing. But Mizzou has 2 ults online here. They've got the Sova ultimate and they've got the Omen ultimate. These are, you know, really good ultimates for both repositioning and for taking up space.
At the Alec finding the kill onto Hage, just unaware of that possible angle. At the end of last round, B-Dog actually died to the bomb and had to rebuy and has a Guardian now. So that's one less gun that Mizzou could have had, but a good opening to the round as Vel is tasked with having to hold it down against this army that is known as Mizzou. As they wait for that 5th player, they're going to execute. Do have Jet coming over to help out. But
seems like as soon as they group up here, they might go for a little bit more of an aggressive play, putting these smokes down.
Flash.
Vel's going to play out and aggressive here into the smoke.
Vel finding one Spider, getting one of his own. Sam finds a trade. Now you have nowhere to run, Spider. Just dodging that ult in heaven. Smoke goes down. Oh, he can't find the shots. Davey finds a kill, though. Spider doing his best just to survive. A 3v2 now as Astra finally rotates over. The swing up into heaven. Sam finding that crucial kill onto Spider. Now the bomb will go down. And Davey and Walrus are the last 2 alive and have to get it done.
This is an even 2v2 here. Sam's going to get that headshot through the wall there. Takes out Walrus. It's all up to Davey Gravy. Going to peek here.
He finds the shots, but can't find Sam. Sam with a 4K to clean it up, and Mizzou with another round win.
Yeah, so far Mizzou is playing very, very strong. They've got some really strong players coming out of the woodwork here. So really exciting stuff we're seeing in these rounds so far. It's pretty early, and even 2-2 here going into round 5. Got some ultimates online again.
A full eco for USF. Hades opting to buy nothing, saving for that op next round. Will have 1 hero rifle in Vel, but 5 rifles for Mizzou, and they're gauged up here for a B hit. Smokes are down. Teodrone is out. Smokes util everywhere, and Mizzou are out and on site.
Mizzou going for that fast execute there, putting all of their util down just to get that site space as quickly as possible. They're not planting the bomb just yet, getting into the right position. Drew takes out Davey Gravy super early. That's a lot of intel out for USF. Vel gets the refrag though.
Vel with that hero rifle has to be the man to do it. Almost finds the flick, but can't. Sam and Panda getting kills of their own. They did invest that veto ult there. That's important to bring up. And now USF on their full buy again, op in hand, and ready to get back into this game.
Absolutely. USF looking pretty good. They've got that full buy. They've got 3 ultimates online, and the Astra ultimate's just 1 point away.
USF with 3 ults online. Mizzou pretty close here to 2 of theirs, Teo and Waylay. They're going to be playing for these orbs. Teo leaning a bit towards B, Bomb leaning towards A. What are they looking at a wall? What are they doing?
Maybe just holding this angle very, very tightly, but overall isn't going to see anything just yet. USF not going to play very aggressive here. They're going to pull out this drone and see Hades. Hades is going to have to back up a little bit here, though.
Drone will spot both Vel and Hades. Shock Dart goes down to break that util. They want to avoid this op.
Yeah, Mizzou's going to rotate out to avoid that op. going into mid instead, which is an interesting choice. Could be a little bit riskier on this map, but overall USF is not holding it. They're not really prepared. Davy Gravy all the way back in the B side CT, just kind of holding a little sliver of an angle, maybe for the intel. But Mizzou's not going to opt to go that way. They're going to go back towards their spawn, towards the attacker side here, and group up with Vito.
Yeah, USF wanted to stack B a little bit here. Davy will be on this quick rotate. Waylay ult goes down onto site. The scan is going to come through onto Spider. Not the kill, though. Drew finds 2 kills. Davy gets a cleanup, but Panda cleaning up Davy. And now the 2v4 with an op in hand going to be difficult, as it looks like they're going to call for the save. Hades and Vel backing up and have a lot of time to try and keep these guns in their hands.
Yeah, absolutely. The clock is not working in their favor here. They've got a lot of time left in this round to try and hide from Mizzou, but it's just the question of if Mizzou's going to go for these pushes and try to find them. Seems like Tejo in mid is kind of interested in seeking someone out, but doesn't want to full send it just yet into angles that they could be holding.
Mizzou with a good start here into this game. Did lose that pistol and their eco round, but have since won the last 4 rounds. USF just trying to hold on to these first 2 rounds and the guns in their hands.
Elec nearing in, gets hit in the head, taken out by Vel. Little last-minute frag here in this round.
Vel getting a nice little kill there, hurting the economy for Mizzou, but they're still going. Timeout comes through as the coach of USF needs to get to their players. Eco round here coming for USF as Davy and Walrus both boasting sheriffs. 4 ults online, though.
Yeah, these are some important ults online here. That KO ultimate alone can really flip around on its head. So that's already very strong. Spider has those knives ready, but given that he's bought a gun this round, I'm not too sure if he's going to pop them. He could potentially, though. We have seen him play kind of like with a gun in hand and then switching to the knives as needed, I guess depending on the range of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not too sure of that decision making, but it is a pretty interesting play style for that ultimate. The Astra ult, Astral Barrier, super strong, pretty much can give you any space that you want, especially because of that like deafening effect that it has. So it's very effective in taking space. The Sova ultimate as well, if you know where the bomb is or if you know where anyone's standing, that it's just so strong.
Yeah. USF, if you're calling here, I think if you're the coach, you're telling them to get a little bit more proactive. They've kind of been waiting to see what Mizzou does and have kind of been playing a little bit back. So maybe some sort of mid play, maybe some sort of main. We saw last time on Abyss, they love to play up in A with that Jet KO, but it looks like they're going to be a stack here towards B, having 4 players leaning that way, putting the op into B as well. And having it migrate. Oh, they don't have the op this round, sorry. But having Hades get into the spot as Sova is spotting out. Mizzou drones out and sees nothing on A. Could influence some decision making here as USF is starting to show some presence in mid.
Yeah, USF showing their strong presence in mid, trying to deter Mizzou. But they're going to put some smokes down and try to fan out a little bit here.
Some spam coming through. Both teams kind of waiting on what to do. In this split, Mizzou decides to go for that A hit, but look at USF, just so ready for this call. 3 players already on A. Hades just trying to find this TP. Panda, though, will catch out Hades, but now the execute is ready to go. Waylay out onto site. B-Dog finding that kill onto Vel. They do find the mid-splitter. Walrus with that kill. A 3v4. Waylay is 1 HP, but the bomb is going to go down, and Mizzou are playing post-plant.
USF did pick up a couple guns here, so they're not completely empty-handed going into this fight. But overall, the odds are not quite in their favor in that 4v3, although Waylay is low on health, as you mentioned, so it could kind of even itself out, as we'll see here.
Davey trying to find the angle, but can't. Spider trying to black scope him, but can't land the shot. And now Walrus in a 1v4 with the Guardian in hand. Not much to do here other than try and save that op. And that he will. Mizzou take this round and improve their lead to 5-2.
Clean little kill here, exit frag from Walrus coming out. Here comes another one. you know, if you can just get these exit frags, you know, that's better than nothing for sure in these kind of rounds. But Mizzou's aggressive play style is really coming out here and really starting to work its magic.
Yeah. USF are kind of just on the back foot waiting to see what Mizzou does in every single round, whether it be an A execute. Mizzou's default is actually really good right now. They're doing a 1-3-1 and kind of just feeling it out, using that Teo util to kind of fish out and see who's where. And they made their decision based off of that, going back towards A after seeing no one was there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their util application has been really strong onto sites, and that really does allow them some room to mess around in mid without immediately having to commit to a site as well. They can wait for that intel before they rush into decisions, but USF's going to rush down mid here. Spider gets taken out through the smoke.
A whiff with the knives as USF try to get proactive here in mid, but instead it's just going to end with a death and a free A site for Mizzou, putting them in a 4v5 to try and reclaim this. Have a lot of ults online, though.
Yeah, they're going to pop that KO ult really early here, just trying to push onto site. Takes out a lot of utility. Vel does get the pick onto Drew.
The shots come through. Vel finding a second kill, but B-Dog finding 2 of his own. Now Hades in the 1v3, deciding to leave KO to die and running away. Tail tucked, op in hand, and another round going the way of Mizzou.
Truly just many of these rounds being lost to saving the op instead. You know, it is a tough situation where you can't really take these fights with an operator. So it does kind of beg the question, is it worth saving each time?
He needs to drop it sometimes. Every situation so far, it's been, they can't really go for it. Like there's no point really for him to go for it there. But they got to catch their footing here, losing the last 6 rounds in a row. No timeout for this half anymore, as USF have these last 4 rounds to play with and try and give themselves a favorable chance in the second half.
Yeah, Mizzou with 2 ultimates online here, another one coming up soon. You know, they're looking in good shape for this round as well at that. They've got their full shields, they've got their rifles, they've got the Sova ultimate online, which is, you know, great for post-plant. So this is not looking too bad for them.
Mizzou switching up the default here into a 3-1-1, leaning B with bomb as they're trying to feel out USF's defense in where they're placing their players. Davey does invest that drone into mid. Will not spot any of these players here in link. But with that Teo drone getting shot out, he's aware that there is some presence in mid.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to go for this mid presence once again. A little bit slower this time. However, they've got a lot of players up mid here, pushing with the spike as well. So it seems like they could be planning some crazy flank action into CT.
With Teo, though, leaning B and Vito going towards B, it's looking like it is going to be a B execute. They did break the door towards heaven, but the players are falling off. Just some noise to keep this KO. And look at this. It pulled Davey, too, away from B a little bit. And now with the ultimate going down out of Teo, Davey is going to rip the ult, trying to find any damage, won't land much. B-Dog finding the kill onto Spider, and just, again, a flawless execute out of Mizzou. Vel does find a consolation kill onto Panda, evening out these numbers.
Yeah, 4v4 here. It's not looking too bad for USF if they can take some of these kills, but with Mizzou playing on the defense here, 3 coming from attacker side spawn rather than, you know, playing on site.
USF with the Asher ult online. Mizzou playing with the Sova ult post plant. This op is still on. You got to get rid of this and get out with your team. The tap goes down, but they're aware because there's one on site. Walrus getting hit once by the ult, deciding to put the smoke down, doesn't smoke the bomb, decides to smoke main. Vel with the 3K on the round. Davey fighting forward, 2 kills go down. Vel with the 4K, looking for the 5th. He finds it, but doesn't have time. USF get the ace, but don't get the round. Mizzou improves to 7-2.
Absolutely. Maybe having that op out of play now is you know, better for USF. They're kind of a little bit stuck on the back foot here, unable to play very offensively. They had a really good chance within that round, though, using the Astra utility very well. It put them in a great position, but unfortunately they did run out of time. Great kills from Vel, of course, but it wasn't enough to win the round.
Yeah, USF showing some life, but again, it's just they're having such a difficult time dealing with this Mizzou default. They really just don't know like the outcomes of the rounds, and that all comes down to them not being proactive. But here they decided to be finding an early kill here onto Spider, and they're going to keep going through. They're going to get punished for it though. Spider finding his second kill. Alec cleans it up. Now a 3v3, 20 seconds into the round as both teams decide to reset. Mizzou having a ton of mid control and USF with all of B.
USF's going to push out just a little bit here. Walrus specifically. Bell does get the headshot onto Panda. Big picks coming out in mid here. Spike is now down. Mizzou's going to have to backtrack a little bit or maybe just go for these frags. Waylay's pushed all the way up on this flank though.
With the Outlaw in hand. Bomb down top mid. Just trying to get something done as USF have definitely established themselves this round as trying to shut down this default. And they did. Oh, he does find one kill, doesn't find the second. Almost scary for a second. Vel cleans it up, and USF back on the board.
Yeah, that was a little scary for just a split little second there. You know, I blinked for a moment, and I was like, oh, we might lose this round. But USF getting back up here, getting a round under their belt, putting them at 3 and 7. So it's not looking completely hopeless in this half.
No, not at all. They need to get these last two rounds, at least one of them, to be somewhat manageable. Waylay with the ult online. USF do see they're getting proactive now. USF do remember that they ripped the Waylay ult onto B last time, deciding to fight up, way up. Davey finds a kill, but just running into this 5-man Mizzou, finding 3 kills, and now a 2v4, leaving Hades and Spider to try and do it all.
That aggro play might have been good in concept, but Mizzou has a lot of strong utility on their side, so it's just going to be a lot of utility spam if they get even a whiff of USF's players being there.
Yeah, they've had a very difficult time getting out there, but Mizzou playing way up as the swing comes through. Hades can't find the kill, and now Spider does find one, the 1 HP Drew, going for a second, will find the second. Not a lot of time, gotta go quick, can't find the third. Mizzou 8 and 3 as we approach the last round in this half.
A good attempt coming out from Spider's gameplay there. Really unfortunate position to be in, having to rush onto site like that. Doesn't really give you the room to reposition and consider where your opponents might be on site. So you kind of just have to run in and pray that someone lines up with your crosshair.
USF, the last 2 rounds, they've kind of been doing an all or nothing play where they're just going balls to the wall, like brawling in their face. And it looks like this round's going to be no different with 4 in mid. But Mizzou finally understanding what kind of switch up USF wanted to make. And they're just going to get a free A site here as they know USF has been playing aggressive these last few rounds, and they could take advantage of it and just go the other way.
Low-key an insane read from Mizzou, just getting A site completely for free. They're going to backtrack here knowing USF.
Brawl.
This is going to get insane.
This blind comes through. All four players for Mizzou decided to play up into main. Vel finds 1 kill. Panda with 2. Hades finding 2 kills of his own. Now a 4v2 as they pick up KO. Sova ult is online. It's the last round of the half. It will be invested. You see B-Dog playing really far back. They've got to get this tap down to invest the ult. The tap goes down. Hades was the one who tapped, though, on 1 HP. Bomb isn't halved. Now he can stick, though, as Davey is left to fight B-Dog and stop them from coming through. USF take the last round, a much-needed round, to go into the second half down 4-8.
Yeah, down 4-8, but looking a lot better than they were. So, you know, USF's probably feeling good about that round. You know, they really flipped it on its head. The formula there just completely changed for a minute. Mizzou having to backtrack back into main to take all of those fights. That was crazy.
Yeah. I thought it was just going to be a massive brawl in main. All 5 players would come back. But USF struggled, to say the least, with that default in Mizzou on their map pick. And now on attack, have to get at least 8 rounds here to force OT. And it looks like they're going to start it off with a default 2-1-2, as Mizzou is also in a 2-1-2. Just looking for some pressure here in the main areas.
Yeah, absolutely. Mizzou going to go back to that 2-1-2, as you said, defaulting here. Not going to play as quickly as they have been playing.
A lot of stall here as USF takes a main fully. Waylay is playing super up. So is B-Dog. And the swings come through. He went for the Ferrari peek, couldn't find the kill, decided to dash out. Now with the smoke down, Spider abandons a main, and so does the rest of USF, as Hades is controlling mid.
Hades goes for that shot earlier. Not too sure if it was worth it. Panda's just kind of a little bit trolling, doing some really fast peeks on that angle, and then just completely backing out of mid. Does cause Hades to lose a couple bullets in Headhunter.
A big stun there, stalling out all of USF. Another one going down. Walrus does find a kill onto Sam, though, opening it up for USF. They really have to get out of this midpoint if they don't want to get choked out, and they will. USF find their way through, but Mizzou is storming right behind them. Hades finds a kill onto Alec, and now Omen deciding to slow down. B-Dog on the flank finds one. Hades gets a trade. But look at this. All 3 players for USF have now flooded out into heaven. One player coming back here into CT. Panda finds 2 kills, though. Davey gets one of his own. Now a 2v1 post plant as B-Dog, the legend here for Mizzou, is all alone and has to do it by himself. Davey with the stall is going to fall, though. B-Dog goes for the tap. Spider cleans it up. A dangerous round for USF. But USF will ultimately take that one down.
A little bit scrappy for a moment there. Mizzou really bringing the thunder, stomping around. But overall, that round does go into USF's favor. Really interesting play style there for a moment.
This just might be a B-Dog diff. If he's
B-Dog
on,
is going crazy right now. Yeah, 20-9 here. Already got 3 ult points from 1 round.
He's just having an amazing game. He's causing this to be extremely difficult for USF, but USF now on their full buy, deciding to go 5 towards A, contacting up in this main point. Hades does get spotted out by Drew, deciding where to put this TP down, but Hades goes for the swing. Omen just facing this angle to high-low. Will he be aware of it? He finds 1 kill but can't get the second. Spider cleans it up. Hades falls early, but the trade is good. USF have a 4v3 advantage. This Teo flank comes through, and Astra, Walrus, is super prepared for it.
Absolutely. Walrus going to watch this angle. Takes out Teo with that outlaw. Gonna double check that no one else is on that flank, and is gonna move on for a moment here.
D-Dog and Sam playing exits in CT as there's not much else to do. Deciding to go for it, though. Vel will get 1. Spider gets his own eco frag, and USF walk away with 4 of their original guns.
Yeah, looking great for USF. You know, Hades is in a good spot as always. Probably going to go for that outlaw once again. You know, very smart move, honestly. Knowing that Mizzou's kind of in a position where they have to force really hard for their guns, or they're going to go for that hard save once again.
USF really need this round. It would be a big staple here for this half, and they'd be right back in it. Hades running no armor as they're in a little bit of a default. Bomb leaning towards A with the Chamber, Astra in mid and B respectively.
Bell going for that knife lineup does hit the Waylay on site.
USF with full control over A main.
For a moment, Spider was exactly tracking Panda's head, and that was kind of crazy looking. But just great crosshair placement and great prediction going on.
We do see Astra and Chamber pulling off of mid and B, so this will be an A execute. That drone almost spotting them out. Sova, though, deciding to rotate over after hearing all this commotion. Drone does get blinded. He does find the tag, though, into heaven, forcing Sova to back up. Drew finds a kill, stopping this offense, make it 2 kills. Vel gets to the backline though and finds a trade. Kind of late though, as B-Dog is into heaven and finds one onto Walrus. Now a 2v4 as both USF players are confined to backside, deciding to push through. Sam will fall. Davey finds a kill with the Spectre. Now the 2 players in heaven are gonna flood out. The dink comes through, it's super winnable. Davey gets a kill. Panda finds one. Davey on his 3K, unaware of where this Teo is. 17 seconds left on this clock, deciding to just go and get this bomb down. Guardian in hand, he's unaware, looking away towards CT. Turn around, he does look heaven. He's ready, the timing! The timing, Davey looks away as soon as Alec swings. Alec finds the kill and wins that terrifying full buy round.
What an insane round coming out. Great plays coming out from Davey, but unfortunately not enough to win the round. Does get timing diffed. The old Valorant curse, you know, long lives. But overall, that was a really interesting round. I want to dissect a little bit. They chose not to plant knowing how many were in heaven, knowing that as soon as they tapped that bomb onto the site, someone is going to peek out and immediately go for that fight. So going back into CT there, doing a little bit of a flank for a moment, and then coming back to site was a really smart choice.
And even though they lost that round, look at the guns here for Mizzou. They've almost guaranteed, I won't say guaranteed, but they've almost guaranteed themselves this round, as Mizzou having a bunch of sheriffs. Suppress will find 2, but another default here from USF. They are going to pull towards B, wanting to play these longer angles with their better guns. Hades in mid, making some noise. Do not die on your anti-eco. And USF are going to execute B here.
USF choosing B, knowing the intel from A is, 2 holding close. Gonna pop these ults really early here as well.
Investing the ult on their anti-eco. They don't know it though. Davey and Spider find kills. And now Omen decides to flood out, will get 1, but Spider finds a trade. Spider up in heaven, wanting to fight. He does find Drew, but Drew with the Bucky kill on 1 HP. Vel getting spammed out, and B-Dog finding that crucial kill. Now the bomb is kind of in no man's land. It is a 2v1, but you have to fear the B-Dog factor. The drone comes out. Both players decide to swing. Hades finds the kill, and USF have found the round.
Great timing coming out from USF on that final swing there, knowing that he was going to be stuck in that drone animation, just trying to catch him off guard as soon as possible, and swinging at the same time, kind of giving Mizzou a taste of their own medicine with those power of friendship peaks.
Yeah. You always have to be scared when B-Dog is the last alive.
Absolutely.
But look, I mean, even they saved last round. They still have 3 light shields and 1 sheriff. Oh, they decided to buy up into a guardian, but USF have put themselves into a position to find their way back into this game. A 2-1-2 here, as they love to take this A main control and just seize this orb, while both players on the side of Mizzou play up, and Spider off the flash finds the kill. Gets traded out though by B-Dog playing a little bit too aggressive, and USF have to reset now. That
headshot coming out from B-Dog was insanely clean. Just kind of, your head was there, unfortunately. Yeah. You blinked too soon, and you get taken out by B-Dog, playing insanely well in this game.
The Teo drone went through A man, and surprisingly, USF are calling for this B hit. Hades inserted so far here up into mid, but I don't think he'll get much value out of it, as USF getting ready to execute. Panda holding that blind out, does decide to invest it, stalling out all of USF, and now they're forced to fall off.
But Hades in mid here.
Yeah, he's been injected this entire round, but hasn't gotten much use out of it.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, it seems like Mizzou's not really interested in taking these mid routes, not even trying to peek any of it. They probably know the Hades playstyle is kind of lurking in mid for a good amount of the round, so they're not going to risk it. But B-Dog gets caught off guard here. They take out Mizzou's star player.
And now Teo falling off into CT. He does stick the ult, Panda does. And now a 3v3, as USF does have the bomb down. They are stuck on site. Do have the KO ult going through All 3 players from Mizzou playing up into heaven, making a lot of noise. Smoke will go back down.
Walrus is aware of this heaven push. All 3 in heaven here. Gonna go for that fake out smoke there.
The fake smoke comes through. Walrus can't find it. Hades finds a kill onto Panda. Now a 2v2. Alec, 1 HP. Tries to go for a quick shot, but can't land it. He's just sticking the bomb, though. They've got to get up. And Hayes, with a 4K, closes that one out. USF are only down 1 round.
USF looking really good here on a little bit of a comeback. You know, getting these clean kills, having these amazing rounds coming out. Timeout's going to come out from Mizzou.
Look at this, another eco for Mizzou. They have no money. Last round, they had a really bad buy, 3 light shields, a guardian. But USF have found their way back into this game. If you're Mizzou, you gotta, I mean, it's the exact same thing. They're having a hard time with this default. They're kind of playing back. They know USF's playing up into A main every round, and it's generally only 2 people. They're gonna do something aggressive here, especially with the Sova ult and the Waylay ult online.
Yeah, absolutely. Them playing aggressive would probably be the best case scenario for them as well, because they've been on these such heavy saves these past few rounds. They've been kind of cornered into that situation. And you know, one thing we've noticed about pistol rounds in general throughout the semester is just that they kind of have to get scrappy. Like, you don't have the range to play with. You don't get a lot of that, like, liberty of playing back and playing it safe because you just don't have that much, you know, space to work with in general.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to go for the aggressive play there. And especially when you have the utility like Waylay, it does allow you to play aggressively. So they're probably going to regroup here, figure out how they can do that aggressive play, and execute.
USF, on the other hand, if you're thinking they should be aggressive, USF should be going the other way and playing it. I've personally, whenever I played, I would call for a default here, and any sound you hear that's any aggression at all, you run the other way. But
Yeah.
USF deciding to just run it 4B, and they're going to run into a 4-stack here instead of feeling out the defense of Mizzou. Just posted up and getting ready to go. 4 players on site.
3 in the plant area as well. So this is a really interesting stack going on. USF kind of not sure what to expect. I think that's the veto utility.
It's like
kind of like
growling
gargling
in my ear.
Yeah. He's like gargling, like, Rose, stop that, please. But overall, they're not too sure what to expect. Throwing that dart into backside.
Oh, pull your gun out!
Your gun out.
Vel finds 1 kill, goes for the swing. Spider finds 2. Vel had to have been surprised.
Absolutely, I would have been stunned too. Overall, USF took our hypothesis and kind of flipped it on its head. You know, normally you would go for that whole, you know, play back if you think they're going to be aggressive, which I completely agree with. But USF said, they're going to do that, we're going to do that harder, and just ran it down.
Absolutely zero noise on B site and ran into 4 players, but they handled it. And now Mizzou finally on a true full buy, as they're close to a bunch of ults too. Vito and Teo 1 off. They already have Waylay and Sova online.
Yeah, these are 2 pretty strong ultimates for taking space. However, they've been in such a back foot this half that it might be tough for them to get that space to begin with. But they're going to, you know, play a little bit closer here.
Look at the setup, though. The Sova on Mizzou is ready to rip that ult if USF plays way too far up. USF, though, playing a little bit back, still maintaining this A space, still in this 1-1-3 that they've loved to run. And both players on Mizzou deciding to fall back a little bit while jump spotting A main.
Yeah, absolutely. USF going to play back just a little bit here. Hades gets darted in mid here, so he's going to have to reposition a little bit, but still sticking with that main. That's taken out by Panda with a clean headshot.
Nice shot there from Panda, and now USF decide to call for a B exec as all the players flood on over. Spider taking his sweet time here as they wait for them to regroup. Only 1 player on site for B.
Yeah, absolutely. Mizzou playing a little bit risky here. USF's going to rush onto site knowing that it's just this 1 player. Sam takes 1 out, though.
Sam finding a crucial kill there onto Vel and saving his life. Now a 3v5. Bomb finally getting down. They do invest the Sova ult onto site. did not find anyone. Now the bomb will actually go down. Waylay rips the ult. Will be able to get out onto site. Davey trying to save Spider, but he doesn't expect the jump up onto site. Now Spider in a 1v5 finds one, but Mizzou reclaimed the lead.
Yeah, a little bit of an impossible situation there in that 1v5. Overall, USF not quite prepared for Mizzou to group up that quickly and run it down.
Should expect a timeout here soon from USF, having that one left in the game. But 2 ults online, having the Jet and Astra ult.
Yeah.
Mizzou with 2 great retake ults in Vito and Teo. Going to be a very difficult post plant if USF is able to get this bomb down. And again, USF going for this. Oh, they're kind of going both ways. 3-2 here.
Yeah, it seems like they're a play for mid, putting those stars down in really specific spots here. They're going to smoke it off, potentially using it as kind of an escape tool. Going to try and get some of this intel here in mid, throwing a dart out. They do take out Panda. They break this door. E-Dog gets the pick onto Vel.
Looking for this split as the 2 players in a main go through. Hades with a nice spray transfer opens it up. Stop looking for your TP. Get out onto site. USF have a site. A 3v2. Vito does rip the ult. And now Sam barrels forward. Going to be very difficult to deal with that on your flank, as you have to worry about B-Dog too. Just an amazing player so far this game, as he floods out here onto site. Davey wasn't ready for it, not ready on that angle. Spider and Hades sitting away in heaven. They do find the kill onto Sam. Hayes with a great round of 4K to tie things up.
Insane kills coming out from Hades here. Clean headshots. That spray transfer earlier, woo! That was insane. So great kills coming out in general. But USF's looking in good shape here. They've got guns. They're getting closer to these ultimates. They've got 2 online. Another one coming up in this round, assumably from Davey. These are 3 really strong ultimates that they're going to want, especially for post plant.
Vel with a triple-double here. 19 kills, 13 assists. Just having a great game. USF need to find this round. 2 light shields on the side of Mizzou, as they need this round as well.
This is a very determining round for both teams. So they're going to play their hearts out here, just trying to win this game.
USF flooding out into mid. B-Dog finds the kill, but Davey gets a trade. I think I would rather have B-Dog dead than Spider dead. So that is a good trade out there. And now they decide to call to come back towards B. Teo, the lone player, as Drew decides to start coming back over. Off of this drone, he'll be able to take some space with... Oh, the Teo util is going to stall them out, though.
Yeah, Teo utility does stall them out. They are also smoked off, so they're in kind of a tough position here. But they could work with this. They could get out as soon as the smoke is over. They're probably going to go for a little bit more intel. 10 seconds on that dart. So they could get that information soon enough. They're going to pop the Astra wall and just try to plant on bridge.
I do get that wall out. Hades getting out really early and getting that bomb down as well. Davey finds a kill. Drew with a quick trade. Vel getting in an aggressive angle here. Almost gets punished for it. Does find that kill, but will fall. Mizzou retake the lead, as USF always on this back foot, can't find their way into the lead.
Absolutely. It's been tough for USF in this game. The Teo ultimate did get popped, so Mizzou did invest an ultimate into that round. They've got another one online, so it's not looking terrible for them at all.
USF's ult economy is amazing. They have Davey and Spider online, and they are very close to Vel and Hades, just to be mentioned. And there is the timeout, though, for USF on a full buy, a crucial full buy. This will kind of determine the game. If they lose here, they're not going to have many guns. So this is the more important round of these next 3. Mizzou, with a shorty in hand, also money low, needing to find their way back into this.
Yeah, absolutely. You're in a tough position where it's like you don't want to lose this round, but you also don't want to be in the position where you can't have guns in the next round. So you kind of have to weigh out your options there. And it seems like some of the players of Mizzou might just go for the strategy of trying to pick up a gun off of a body. But USF's going to go for that force. You know, Vel kind of looking a little bit, you know, tight on cash there. But USF going to buy all those guns, going to be ready for this round, and going to try and take as much as they can under their belt so that they don't have to go into overtime.
Planning to play early for this KO orb, I would assume. Looks like, oh, never mind. I thought it was tech pause too, but never mind.
No. Don't say those words.
Yeah. A default coming out here as USF will be playing for those orbs. KO, oh, they're going to stall with some noise. That was the call. Vel is going to throw the start early. And there he goes, beginning to fall off as all of USF leaning towards B.
Mizzou dumping a lot of utility into A main, but doesn't find anyone there.
Oh, look at this. Look at the veto, though, on the ledge.
Oh, that's insane.
Wanting to jump across, but he finds the kill onto Spider. Sam just fully aware of how they would execute out. Alec finding a kill as well and a spam through the smoke. Now USF on the back foot. Vel trying to even out the numbers a little bit. Finds 2 kills, has a 3K in this round so far. Hayes finds a kill of his own. And just like that, Mizzou had the numbers advantage and gave it away. Now, as the bomb goes down, B-Dog, that factor is going to fall. Hayes doesn't care. He's different. And USF tie it up at 11.
Beautiful plays coming out from USF, going against the odds there. Such an interesting hold coming out from Vito. That was a really interesting position to be in.
Yeah.
And it did work out. He did get his.
He did indeed. But now, look at the economy of Mizzou. Just no money to their name.
Sorry, that was not that was not meant to be a pun. It kind of ended up being a pun. I'm so sorry. No diss to Mizzou. They are in a bad position, though, with their economy.
That was horrible.
It was not intended.
USF. Oh, I said the words last round. I said the words. Tech pause.
Well, yeah, you should have never said the words tech pause.
Oh my gosh.
Those words can't be said on this stream because then Davy Gravy will disconnect. If you say it 3 times into the mirror, Davy Gravy will appear. It's true.
Okay. Mizzou on their back foot here, just praying they can knock down the economy of USF. USF need a clean full buy here. If they can't get a clean full buy, they might not be able to close it out. But finally, with the opportunity to take the lead, as USF have had to battle to get their way back into this one. We see a couple of R's.
Yeah, it
Looks
seems
like
we'll
we're
be
ready to
getting
go.
out of that pause.
Yeah.
Thankfully, not too long of a pause. Nothing too crazy coming out here. We're getting back into this game. No momentum delays there at all.
Aggression is what Mizzou is showing here in A, as Waylay and B-Dog, both players playing up. Drew finding his way into the corner. Hasn't played this yet this game. Hades spots it out and TP's away. Most of USF, though, are falling off here in mid. And now Mizzou taking the opportunity to fight up into A main. If I were them, I would just call the hit B right now. You don't want to face this.
Well, Mizzou goes for that orb there and has the Sova pick it up, putting that ultimate online. That's a pretty strong ultimate for them to have under their belt for this round. So
Lurk.
this is an insane lurk coming out from USF.
wait.
Going into B flank.
No!
Spider misses the shots, but it's okay. Sam turns around a little bit late. Teo does not really have much of a reaction here.
Oh my gosh, turn around!
What is this timing? This is insane timing coming out from Spider here, but does get the kill overall.
Oh, Drew flooded out. Drew gets out onto site. B-Dog in heaven does find a kill with the classic. They also find a kill with the gosh, I'm flustered right now with the Sheriff. A 3v3 as USF really fumbled the bag there. They had it in their hands. Walrus stuck in B main and going for the swing. All 3 players here on B as USF decide to go towards A. Another one is going to fall. USF are really testing their nerves. They don't want the lead.
USF in this 2v3 here, but they do get A site for free. So, you know, not their intended outcome, but it does kind of work out in their favor. They're able to get this plant down. They're just going to have to hold these angles here and just play it safe as much as they can.
They're actually playing a little bit aggressive. You want to play more aggressive when you're down numbers. And Hades,
Yeah, you should try to take them off guard for sure. But
he
they are.
sees their guns. He gets the TP out, a crucial TP there. They're unaware of the CT player. Waylay rips the ult, is going to fall. Davy finds the kill. Davy hiding now in the smoke on site. Will find B-Dog. Panda finds the kill with the Sheriff. Hayes running forward and taking the lead. USF are up 12-11 at match point.
What an insane round from USF. So many situations that they were in, all in one round, honestly. Kind of insane that all of that happened in one round. But here we are, match point. If USF takes this round under their belt, they win the first game in this series. They're going to pop that chamber. Tour de Force gives Hayes a free operator. He's going to have the Judge as his backup gun.
So much for a clean full buy. Holy.
Holy.
That was a round.
That was a fascinating round for sure.
Yeah.
Mizzou does have guns online here, so they're not looking too terrible, but they're also not looking the best here. 2 ults online from USF. The Jet ult gets taken out so early into the round.
Drew finding that aggression in Spider and shutting him down. Now USF down a number in a 4v5. They are occupying mid here. Is Omen a little bit stuck, trying to find these peaks. The jump spot will cause Alec half his health. Now Panda wants to get a little frisky, going for the swing, and will fall too. Davy with some nice aim right now, finding those shots.
That was a beautiful snap onto the target there from Davy Gravy. Just interesting plays overall. They saw that Tejo drone come out. Alec going for that jump peak does cost him a lot, honestly. Puts him down a lot of health in this really critical round.
For the final round, USF will execute on to B. USF do have the Sova ult online as well as the Tour de Force. Bomb goes down for this ledge peak as Sova tries to find his way out. Waylay
coming in from mid here.
On this flank. It doesn't look like they're aware. Drew finds the crucial kill onto Davy, shutting down the ult. Vel finds a trade. B-Dog finds one of his own. Now Hayes gets stunned out by Drew, and Mizzou back in this round. Drew with the 4K, sending us to overtime, map 1.
Insane send into overtime here. Mizzou really split up and conquered there. Great pinch, honestly, onto site.
Just an amazing, amazing round there out of Drew. And now USF back on defense as we're on equal footing again. USF will be snowballing the op here. I don't love it, but whatever works.
The glass cannon move here can be a little bit risky. They are on this defense, so it does allow them that room to play. Just kind of play back, not so aggressive. However, Mizzou seems pretty geared up to play pretty aggressive here. They're all there, except for Vito, who's going to go for this mid lurk.
USF did struggle on this half really, really badly, finding a couple of rounds there at the end to claw their way back into this game, but facing this 4-man execute onto B. Hayes opens things up with his operator, finding that early kill and looking for more. Will get punished though. Panda finding that kill. Walrus gets a trade onto Drew. Mizzou is flooded out. Vito super late. Teo on site with the shorty, will fall with the bomb. And now a 4v1 as Sam does find a kill to make it a little more scary, but Spider closes it out. USF retake the lead.
Looking great for USF. They were able to get that round under their belt, you know, on the sides that they were struggling with earlier in this game. So overall, looking to be in their favor so far. If they can take this next round under their belt, they do take the first game in this series. This sets them up for, you know, a great series overall.
Look at the stat lines here for USF. 24-15-15, 24-17, 20-20, 20-21. They're just, and then we'll skip you, Walrus. Sorry.
Aww.
But they're just having a great team game here. The other side, they're doing pretty well, but B-Dog is just the differential in this game so far. USF saying, screw a default, let's hit A.
Let's move as a unit, too. I don't know if you saw it, but for a moment they were moving so in sync on the map.
And now,
they're going to go for the aggressive play here on the site.
With the aggression, forcing Drew back. Mizzou playing retake. It all comes down to this. Panda finding a kill onto Vel. And USF trying to get aggressive. Spider will get punished for that, though. as B-Dog finds his second kill. Panda finds his second. Make it 3 for B-Dog and a quick round. Bomb doesn't even go down. And Mizzou have retied it up.
What an insane round coming out. Mizzou kind of countered that aggression pretty well. Just kind of took USF off guard in some of the spaces they were playing in. But they're once again going to go for this glass cannon. Hades, a little bit of a risky position, but their last defense-sided round did go pretty well for them. So we'll just have to see how this goes for them once again.
Mizzou going for the same call. In fact, pulling the veto over, just full execute onto B. USF getting aggressive here, A main, and occupying mid, leaving Walrus in this 1v5 all by himself. Davey does come back over to help out. Walrus playing up in the smoke. Davey finds a kill. Is he cheating? Oh my lord. Does get scanned and spammed. Panda finding 2 kills here early on, but Walrus just inserted onto site. They didn't know he was there. Finding a kill for his efforts. Now he falls, but Vel cleans it up onto Panda. A 2v2. B-Dog is down, and now it's left to the support of Mizzou as Walrus on this flank goes for the swing. Drew will find Vel, and now Spider having to get across is going to get scanned out. And look at this rotate out of Drew going up into heaven. Just so strong. Spider unaware of Teo above him, and Alec closes it out. Mizzou have now put USF on match point.
Absolutely. Walrus played alone on site for so long there. It was just kind of a rough position to be in overall. But they're going to go for this, typical hero rifle buy here. They're going to try and get this round under their belt to continue playing on, continue fighting for this round.
Calling for another A execute. I would prefer them to keep doing what has been working, which is a little default here in a 2-1-2, but USF wanting to get up and active. 3 players leaning towards A, 1 leaning towards mid as Hades decides to occupy mid. Now 3 players playing aggressive here in mid as Hades decides to break the door. The execute prepared to come through. Jet is going to get out. B-Dog finding that kill onto Hades, shutting down the lurk. And now USF on match point are down numbers. Spider playing aggressive here, getting up close to that CT smoke, wanting to fight up. And look at this late lurk out of Mizzou. Going to be a big factor
Traded
here.
some drones there.
Vel and Spider finding kill. Sam finds 3, shutting down USF. Davey finding 1 kill. Vito with the ult online in this 2v1. Davey has to do it all by himself. Going for the swing. Sam with the 4K, the hero of this match. The bottom frag for Mizzou cleans it up and gives Mizzou map 1.
Overall, great retake from Mizzou there in overtime. They did play amazingly in that first half.
Yeah, I mean, Mizzou definitely dominated the start of that game, going up 8-4 in the first half, winning like 7 rounds in a row.
Yeah, that was a crazy streak for Mizzou. And then in the second half, USF kind of, pulled themselves up by their boots and said, we're going to lock in for a minute.
Yeah.
But overall, that overtime, switching back and forth, USF tried to change up their strategies, but unfortunately didn't work out in their favor.
USF losing their map pick, going into map 2, Haven. We had a crazy game for map 1. We'll see what's in store for map 2. We're going to go to a quick break. We'll see you soon.
I can't see through your skin. I'm not your guardian. I can't see through your skin.
And we are back. It's do or die time for USF. Boasting that Yoru and Neon. USF down 1-0 in this best of 3. Needing to win this week to maintain a shot at getting into the playoffs. Mizzou with a good start here on the other hand, winning that first map.
Yeah, interesting team comps coming out here. Let's talk about it really quick. USF gonna run that Cypher, Neon, Omen, Yoru, and Sova. Cypher's interesting here.
Yeah, when I played, I preferred Cypher on this map. For sure. I really like Cypher just being able to shut down multiple lanes at the same time and not having to be in that range. But nice default here. Smoke goes down into A main, but 3 players find their way into sewers. Going for the swing. Davey finds a kill onto B-Dog, but B-Dog gets one first onto Spider. Now the speed up as they're trying to get out onto site. Smoke goes down for CT. Still no execute for USF. So they're waiting for this orb to go down. But now look at this. All 3 players have rotated over.
Yeah, Mizzou was very, very quick to get over here to A site. They're prepared for this push, but USF might change their minds on going through short. They're going to rotate over to long instead of where Hades is holding here.
I actually love this. They think it's just you leaving, but the rehit comes out. This Heaven player, though, is going to be the one to spot it. Shots come down. Now the flood comes out. Alec finding the first kill. A trade coming out. He floods out of Heaven. Drew is a maniac, but Walrus finds 2 kills. Now a 3v1 as Sam, the lone killjoy with the light shield, finds his way out onto CT, goes for the swing, hugging the wall. Walrus for the 3K. USF take round 1.
Yeah, with 2 holding hell, it's kind of hard to swing into that. So USF will take that pistol round. Really interesting execute, really great strategy overall. Really enjoyed that fake out, leaving and rotating, just to rotate to the other side of that site entrance.
It was definitely a very interesting call that worked out for USF. Now, on the full buy, Mizzou, not even a light shield to their name, as USF decide to go C into the lone killjoy.
Yeah, Killjoy does have a lot of utility set up here, but is it going to be enough to counter out USF? They've got that Marshall online. Vel loves this Marshall round 2.
Yeah, no,
honestly.
he definitely does.
And it works out well. The alarm bot's going to go off.
Vel getting out onto site. Nobody checking this box yet. Nobody is aware of this Killjoy. Davey, though, the leader for this squad, finding that kill. Now the bomb will go down, and Hades coming out of C long almost gets caught out by Mizzou. Mizzou went for the 4-stack on A, but USF have inserted themselves into C.
USF already pretty well positioned here, very comfortable on C site. So this is going to be hard for Mizzou to enter into. They've got 3 on CT, 1 potentially going garage. Vel does get that pick with the Marshall.
Vel finding that kill. It's all eco frags here, and Spider wants some too. Playing up close into CT. These players from Mizzou just looking to die to bomb. Playing their post plant. Hades finding a kill. Vel finds one of his own. A flawless for USF. And that's a good start into map 2.
Beautiful round for USF, not dying at all, not having to lose any utilities or any guns there. Looking great. They're going to level up. They're probably going to buy up here for this round. But overall, looking great here. And, in strong position. The Cypher utility is coming in clutch here so far. Like, we've already seen Mizzou kind of get, like, a little bit deterred on a flank. Just spotting the Cypher, seeing that utility, changing how they were going to approach site from just that alone.
Yeah, no, the Cypher default util A main is definitely super strong. Throwing that cage early on, just kind of giving question marks to Mizzou. They could be in sewers, they might not be. And then going back into mid, USF leaning towards B. Do have the bomb over here. Alec is going to take some damage as USF decide to reset here. Look at this push out of Drew in a main, but Hades is so aware of it, finding a kill. Very, very good out of Hades, knowing where the lurks are going to be coming from. And that's a gun down in a main that they're deciding not to go for some reason.
Yeah, but great plays overall coming out from USF here. They're prepared for this. They're going to stand in the molly for just a split second there. All is well. Killjoy has a pretty strong lock onto Garage, but they're going to push her anyway. Just trying to take her off guard. Gets that kill.
The Omen still is on site, and so is Panda flooding out of CT, but Walrus and Davey eliminate them. And now B-Dog, the clutch factor in a 1v4. Phantom in hand on the full buy. It's never over when he's in, finding that first kill onto Vel.
Insanely clean peek there onto Logs. Just a really great play overall. Gonna have to go for this 1v3 though. All three holding on long here.
One way does go down. I would say it's pretty much impossible here for B-Dog to win this round, as all three players decide to play C-Long. USF win their bonus, and Mizzou escape with just one Phantom.
Absolutely. USF is in great shape here. They got guns out of this round. They won the round, putting their economy in a great place. They're going to be, up on those ults as well. Davey Gravy only 2 points off from that Sova ultimate. That's going to be really clutch for this attack side.
It will indeed. USF with a great economy here, as Mizzou with the one hero rifle and a bunch of sheriffs, but they can be scary on their eco round, so do not fear. Mizzou is here.
Yeah, Mizzou could really heavily lock in here. B-Dog's going to go for that force for the Phantom here, knowing potentially the strongest kill player on the team. Just going to play a little bit aggressively. They're going to peek into A main. They're not going to see anything just yet. The cage goes out.
Yeah, the cage is super strong. Vel with the Outlaw in hand. Tried to spot Alec. Look at this quick rotate here. 3 players for Mizzou leaning towards A. He gets up into the smoke. Spider finds the early kill onto Alec. Now the flood comes through. Vel flooding out into back sight. The swing out of Garage. Davey eliminates that, finding 2 kills of his own. And now a post plant. Super clean so far. So far.
So far. So far.
I don't have the bomb now.
Post plant question mark.
Yeah. Now it's a post plant.
Yes, now it is. Mizzou's stuck a little bit offside here, just trying to throw some utility in, trying to get that shock dart down and do some damage. But Mizzou's Sova is at 1 hit.
Yeah, Vel playing aggressive, wanting his ult going into the next round, and he will have it. And again, the save out of B-Dog on 1 HP, Phantom in hand. USF take round 4, moving into Mizzou's next full buy. They've got momentum, and they need to keep it going.
Yeah, USF is in great shape so far on this attack. 4 rounds in a row, looking good for them so far. They are trying to hunt down this final kill just a little bit, but they might not be able to find Mizzou's Sova player in time. I don't know. I was kind of low-key expecting the Neon to full commit and just start running it down. I'm not going to lie.
Oh?
Low-key? Okay,
Oh.
I wasn't like completely off the mark there.
No, that's crazy.
A little bit. Yeah. Davey Gravy with that ultimate online. Vel as well. USF's in great shape going into round 5.
They need to maintain this pressure that they've been having so far. Mizzou having a setup here in mid, flipping it up, or switching it up a little bit as KJ decides to put the turret down B main and play towards A, swapping with Viper as Viper decides to go towards C, throwing that orb down long and making it a little bit difficult. Vel does invest this Yoru ult, spotting the Viper backside, the lone Viper, realizing that Drew is also out onto site. Spider finds the kill onto Panda, finding a second one. Hades gets a kill as well, finding Drew, and USF dominantly take this C site.
Beautiful take from USF there. Great usage of those ultimates. After seeing the Viper wasn't getting hit, they just rerouted and started hitting CT, which worked out very, very well. They did get some of that preliminary damage down onto Mizzou's players. So overall, that worked out pretty well.
And again, another save from Mizzou. B-Dog just not getting hit ever. He's always saving that same Phantom for the last 2 or 3 rounds. And Killjoy out in mid. The economy for Mizzou is miserable.
Thank you
B-Dog.
for joining in on my fun. Hayes gets that kill onto B-Dog. No more saving that Phantom anymore. USF's econ looking insane, though. Like, we just saw Davy Gravy with, like, 8 grand under his belt. So, overall, looking good. USF going into this round 6 with all 5 rounds previously won.
Stacks on racks.
Yeah.
Timeout coming through out of Mizzou on the eco round, surprisingly. Having some hard time getting their footing into this game. They had a dominant performance last game, kind of got a little shaky there in the second half, but ultimately pulled through. And now they're getting the beat down here like they were giving it in the first half last game.
Yeah, absolutely. USF's in amazing shape. Davy Gravy is playing extremely strong, 6-0 here. So it's just looking really, really good for USF overall. Mizzou, it's going to be tough for them to come back at this point in this half. But the next half completely open to all possibilities. So we'll just have to see how it goes for them. Their attack could be very strong. They have a really interesting composition. They do have a lot of like defensive side agents with like great defensive utility. But that Neon could be really strong on that attack.
Yeah. They have the Sova, but no real initiator here for them, as it's going to be hard for them to kind of explode. USF had the same problem, but running this Yoru has definitely made it a lot more beneficial for them, getting out of these main chokes. The Viper, though, for Mizzou, haven't gotten a lot of, value out of having this Viper.
Yeah,
default
for
util.
sure. I think we're seeing like the first wall of the game.
Yeah, he's just been throwing it down like across B and sewers, but
Yeah. This could be a more efficient wall. This could cover a little bit more of like the area that's actually getting utilized.
look at this Neon for Mizzou, just running it down into C, fully taking the space and the orb. And
Yeah, free orb.
Yeah, pulling Davy back. They're not too scared, though, because they had that trip there. After it gets shot out, though, I love this call. Just, you know that they're attacking one side of the map. Just go mid, and it's going to be open.
USF is going to take B pretty much for free. The only thing stopping them is a Killjoy turret, but Killjoy's over on A right now. So they get that information. They're going to push in. They're going to take that turret out and just kind of get this B site.
Oh, but they just wanted the space.
Oh, interesting. They're going to rotate out.
I think they're just overthinking it here, just unaware of this 4-stack onto A, and what turned into a good call is turning into a nightmare. 4 players now for USF running into this 4-stack. It's going to be a brawl on site. Yoru leading the charge as the Omen with the blind in hand. Vel able to find B-Dog early on. That blind was super strong. Sam finds a kill, but Vel finds a trade. The bomb went down temporarily. Now Spider on this flank. Doesn't find the kill. It's going to fall to Drew. Mizzou with 2 alive. Neon on 1 HP. Alec back sight. Vel with the 3K on the round. And now Drew with 1 HP to his name finds 1. But Walrus cleans up that nightmare.
USF took a lot of damage in this round, lost a lot of guns, but overall their economy is in such a great place they can just recover that. Mizzou was kind of favored for that round. They had 4 on site, the Neon rotating super quickly, you know, off that first indicator, and still it didn't work out in their favor.
Just it turned from a good call falling off of that C and just taking mid into a bad call running into that 4-stack.
And yet it still works out in their favor.
Yeah, that was just a gun diff there.
Someone has got to stop them. They have to learn their lesson. On a real note, though, Mizzou has 3 ults online here, so they are, like, not entirely completely lost in this half.
USF loving this mid control as Mizzou split up here, covering all their bases, having that crucial Killjoy util down into sewers and in B main, allowing him to pull away and having this Sova to comfortably peek long.
Yeah. USF going to push up here into closer to B. They hear that Killjoy turret. They're going to play a little bit cautious here of the utility. Omen peeking out of garage here.
The fake run away as Neon comes back. Kind of just waiting for the IGL to make the call here. Omen spotting 1 or 2 here. Front garage. Hades gets that cage down, but it looks like they're going to be leaning towards A after all of this noise they've made in mid. Sova will spot it out early as Neon and Sova lead the charge. Getting spotted out. B-Dog finds the shot. Davey not going for the jump peek there, instead trying to jiggle. Costed him his life. And now, as B-Dog floods out of sight, USF have sight. Had to give up a number for it and some health.
USF will get this plant down, but Vel is in a really tough position with 2 Heaven, 2 rotating out to CT, and there's going to be a lot of flooding onto site here. That drone coming out, this is a very risky place to be.
A very crucial round here as Mizzou on a full buy and needing this crucial round. Vel barely surviving. Panda, Sam finding kills. Spider finds 2. Now Vel in the 1v3 in a favorable spot, able to isolate the 1v1 but can't win it. Panda puts Mizzou on the board.
Mizzou gets this first round under their belt, you know, going into round 8 here, so it's going to be impossible for them to even up the score in this half, but going into the next, this could be, you know...
They could tie it up.
Oh, they could tie it up, you're right.
It could be 6-6.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything.
Not a math major here as Mizzou finally finding their way back onto the board. Do still have 1 Sheriff swapping to a Light Shield Guardian, but USF need to keep the momentum going, not taking their foot off the gas. And Mizzou, again, going for the setup. KJ putting the util down. Early Sewers having the Sova spot out early.
Yeah, a lot of utility gets put into the A entrances overall, but especially early in these rounds. They put down a lot of that utility. They tried to get the information, and USF's going to just rotate out and focus on Garage for a moment here.
The Sova drone coming into A main will tell him that there are no players home, and he will take that space. Sova walking up as Viper as well, inserting themselves into C Cubby.
USF kind of just backing up and regrouping for a moment in their spawn before pushing out once again. Kind of just deciding not really to commit fully to Garage as much as they were before. As I say that, they turn around and go into Garage.
Calling for the C hit with Hades as the late C long player. Will he expect this Viper in Cubby? The players in Garage get stalled out by that stun. And now Spider ready to get out. Panda, though, winning the kill onto Hades. Panda finding his second. Spider finally ending Panda's life. Davey finding that kill onto Drew as they have to deal with these players backside. Vel finds 1. Spider with the frag onto Sam. And now a 3v1. E-Dog, though, on this flank has already gotten himself into Cubby. It doesn't look like they're aware. None of the players were looking flank. Finds the kill onto Davey, but loses 140 HP for it. And Spider, with a 3K, closes this one out.
Wasn't completely unfavorable for B-Dog. We've seen him clutch up in some pretty tight conditions there. But overall, wasn't able to get that round under his belt. Mizzou's economy, once again, in a really rough place. But USF, you know, they've got their steak, they've got their lobster, and it's too juicy and too buttery. Their economy looks fine.
Yeah, they're feeling pretty good right now. USF not letting that 1 round loss stop their momentum, continuing to build it up. Mizzou, 3 ults online. Look at USF's ult economy, 2 ults online, and very close to 3 more.
Yeah, USF's going to go for the aggressive play here, even ulting into Heaven on A site. They're just going to really run this down. They don't want to give Mizzou the chance to rotate over and set up any utility at all.
A little bit scary as Mizzou was on an eco, but fortunately they don't run into a stack. USF have taken a free A site and have a bunch of ults. Oh, they don't get the bomb down.
What? Okay, now they're going to get the bomb down. Overall, Mizzou's kind of a little bit stunned here, kind of in an awkward position.
The drone coming to CT. Vel in a good spot to get out if he needs to with that TP.
Seems like Davey's going to go for the offsite play just a little bit here. Got that Sova ult online, so it'd be very easy to play post plant here. Vel's going to get the pick in the smoke. 2 waiting outside of it. Line comes out, gets taken out by Sam with the Sheriff.
Big kill there from Sam. Drew finds one as well, investing the ult. Sam with another kill. Now all of a sudden, it's a 3v2, and USF are on the ropes. The ult out of USF. Can he find the kill in time? He can't. Mizzou take this Thrifty with the Neon ult, and USF invested whoa. Hey, Drew, you're down 7-2. Relax.
Oh,
Relax.
whoa.
Relax.
Whoa.
You are 5-8.
The girls are fighting.
You just doubled your kills that round. Relax.
Yeah, Mizzou trying to step up a little bit here, trying to assert their dominance. Popping that Neon ultimate there, kind of a good investment because otherwise they do lose that round.
Tech pause.
Tech pause. We didn't even say it this time. It's bound to happen.
Of course.
Yeah.
Mizzou with 2 ults online still, 2 big ults, the Viper and Killjoy. Not very close to any others. USF did have to invest that Sova ult there at the end, but do still have the Yoru and Neon ults.
Yeah. Cypher ultimate, you know, it doesn't really have super high impact, but, you know, knowing where everyone is not the worst thing in the world for sure. But, you know, the DPS ultimates coming out here, the duelists, they're ready to go. Those are strong to have.
It'll be interesting to see what they call. I'd imagine it's something slower. They've changed the pace the last 2 rounds, and it worked one of them. It didn't work the other one, so I would assume we'd see some sort of default. But 4 players leaning towards C, a couple of R's in the chat, and the Pirates are ready to go.
Arr. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mizzou's gonna hold a little bit close here on C. Vel's gonna pop this ultimate, try and get some information, gets that information that the Viper is playing backside, gonna rotate into garage. Might bump into Alec here. Yep, absolutely does.
I'm back.
As a free sight. Oh, a lot of spam, bringing Vel down to half health. Deciding to play super far up now. Off of this drone, is going to get up into garage, but the garage window player will fall to Vel. Sam dies early. Now Spider in a very weird spot. Thank goodness he can run like that, because
Spider just got out of the craziest spot imaginable.
Deciding, though, not to get off of sight.
Page's flanking the mid flank, though.
Page's finding a crucial kill. The stun comes out, but B-Dog finds it. Now a 3v4 in USF's favor. Mizzou do have a bunch of util here to try and stall it out. They know they killed the diffuser. No time left on the clock. USF take round 10.
Everyone dies in this round, but USF does win this. So looking great, 8-2 here. You know, overall, like, USF has dominated this half of the game.
Yeah, no, they've definitely been doing their part. As now Mizzou calling their... Did they call a timeout earlier too? This is their second timeout?
Yeah, I guess they did. I
don't
thought that
remember.
was our timeout, but I guess not.
I don't see why we would have.
That's what I'm thinking. So interesting. Not too sure what's going on, but you know.
Got confirmation. It is their second timeout. USF with a little bit of a damaged economy here, losing 2 out of the last 4 rounds. And Mizzou with a permanently damaged economy, not having a great half so far.
Mizzou, I think at this point, it's a lost cause for them to even try to save. So it's just best to force with what they can and, you know, do what they can where they can, which might also include just kind of trying to, you know, pick up guns off of corpses if they can get those kills down. Overall, though, they're kind of not in the position to go for a hard save, you know, getting into that second to last game in the half.
Mizzou might get a little bit proactive here in mid. Haven't really done too much, and that's kind of what it looks like. Maybe not. Pulling all of their players off of A and sending Killjoy to be alone there and die alone. As they're stacking towards C, Mizzou is set up for that, but USF are defaulting here in mid.
Yeah, USF gonna go for some mid here, but they're gonna be a little bit slow about it, just trying to play for some information before they start, you know, unloading that util, playing that aggressiveness. 2 are in garage, so this is going to be some interesting plays for USF to encounter here. Hates holding the angle on garage.
Couple of shots, just a little bit of noise, but USF just kind of stalling out here in mid. Unsure as to what the plan is. Surprised no one has taken space on other sides of the map.
Yeah, absolutely. A side is almost completely open other than a Killjoy turret, so
high-low.
but they uncrouch. Vel gets 2 kills, insane spray transfer, but Alec is gonna get those 2 frags back.
And USF are now calling to go towards A after seeing 2 and the Omen leaning C, as well as the Viper wall being thrown from C. They know that the stack was there.
Mizzou's in a great spot here, you know, to rotate over. They're going to pop that Omen ultimate to try and get over as fast as possible. Killjoy's got that utility, but it does get knocked out. USF's going to go for the plant in a little bit of an unconventional location here.
Do decide to get the bomb down in main, kind of predicting that this Killjoy ult would come through and make it difficult for them to play anywhere else. Walrus trying to time this ult, getting across here. All of that spam almost found its way into the spot, but now the tap on bomb. The scan comes through. They don't see anyone on. Panda finding a kill onto Hades. 2 players are 1 HP. The spam needs to land though. Davey finds them both and takes the round. 9-2 USF.
Beautiful plays coming out from Davey. An insane read on that bomb plant, honestly, and reading that Killjoy ult. Just, you know, overall great strategy there. USF in a great position for this first half, 2-9. Will they go and let that 9-3 curse come into clutch, or will they continue dominating throughout this half?
Why would you even bring that up?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's
no
tradition.
9-3 curses. No 9-3 curses.
USF is doing amazing
it's
here,
not
honestly.
a thing. 9-3 curses aren't a thing.
Don't you say that.
No, they definitely are.
Don't you say that.
I've lost to a lot of them.
Aw.
USF with facing this Viper ult here on C, and we've seen that their playstyle is to just go through it.
I low-key was expecting Vel to just hit like one random shot with the Outlaw through the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was going to be very amused for a moment, but they do try to get that utility into the Viper's pit, trying to figure out where Panda might be holding from. They get a little bit of an idea of it, and they decide, for the most part, it's not really worth pushing into. They're going to rotate off of C-Site here.
Omen just staring this TP in the face, ready for it to pop, but all of USF moving as a unit towards A, back into B-Dog's crosshair. Please don't jiggle it this time. He does hit his shots.
Just full send it. Saw his shoulder. They do get the intel that B-Dog was holding that angle. B-Dog's going to back up onto site here. Killjoy joining them. Omen's also going to rotate over. Mizzou does not hesitate here.
Mizzou deciding to fall off, but Omen deciding to get on. A little bit of a mishap. Alec, though, finding 3 kills just out of nowhere. B-Dog finding one of his own with the ult. And now USF trying to end the half on a high note. Ended on a low note. And we have 9-3 going into the second.
Yep, we have the 9-3 curse, which means we could see Mizzou potentially come back on this half. But USF has been playing expertly this game. They've been, you know, really doing well overall. So I'm excited to see how they continue into their defense half.
With that Cypher in hand and the Yoru, they can TP across the map super quickly. Having solo Sova, this is an interesting wall as well.
Yeah, this is, I guess it does
great.
divide sewer. It's actually really interesting.
And it blocks off for the right side of B as well.
Yeah. Yeah, overall, this is a really interesting wall. I really like the placement of it. It gives them a lot of freedom to move around and get through A as needed, but it also gives them that freedom to get onto B site. Sam's going to get that headshot, but gets traded out by Spider.
Early aggression here, down C long, and it's going to turn into an execute onto A as all 4 players remaining for Mizzou decide to come towards A.
Yeah, Mizzou's going to rush it onto A site here, immediately going for that plant super early. Davy's going to send out that shock dart, trying to, you know, disrupt a little bit of plant, but they're not planting in the normal position.
Oh.
He predicts that, though, gets the headshot onto B-Dog, stops their plant.
Can't copy USF. They'll put you down. Davey finding that kill. Bomb finally down. USF in a 4v3 retake. All 3 players, 2 players actually, on site as the Viper decides to fall off a little bit here. Off of that stun. They're going to flood out, but the Omen blind still in hand. Panda finding 1 kill. Davey finding a trade. Drew finding one of his own. Oh my gosh. Davey drops out of heaven. Can't find the kill. And Walrus with barely any health clutches it up.
It's the Zed classic, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
As soon as that inspect comes out and we hear that music, doo 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 doo, that shit, that stuff.
Actually
My Apollo
goated.
cheese.
Actually
It's
goated.
so goated.
As
Great plays coming out from Walrus.
USF are now in the double digits with a 7-round lead and guns to their name. Mizzou not opting to full buy here, deciding to save one more round and seeing if they can put together some sort of comeback. On this eco, it looks like they're just going to lean towards A off of this wall.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good wall overall. They're going to pop it early, try to get into sewer here. USF's going to spam through it, trying to get some damage down. Doesn't quite hit too much. They do hit the neon.
Do find one body shot as all of the players are now into sewers. The TP does come over. Viper alone in a main, deciding to go towards long. Smoke does come down. I don't know if I love that smoke if I'm USF. It just allows them to flood out, and they have worse guns.
Does kind of give them a bit of freedom to move around these crates for sure. They do try to dart it out to get that information, but overall, not the best position to be in. They're going to mimic that smoke, ironically enough.
3 kills, though, for USF. Make it a 4th. And the lone killjoy, Sam, finds a kill, but Spider, getting his eco frags, closes it out. USF are 2 rounds away from victory.
Great round coming out from Spider there, getting that 3K, putting USF in a great spot. They got to win one more round to get to match point here. So Mizzou's going to be fighting tooth and nail to try and keep it from getting to that point.
Finally, a full buy for Mizzou, as they've all been struggling kind of this game, except Alec. Alec's like, I got mine. What about you?
Alex like, I got my kills and I have my money, so must suck. Like, he just moves on. But overall, USF is on a little bit of a save here. Not completely lost cause, though. You know, Vel with that outlaw, of course. Just locked in on that outlaw.
Mizzou defaulting here in mid. Viper occupying A main as 3 players for Mizzou decide to enter into garage. Oh my gosh, you're a maniac, Vel.
It's kind of an
through.
insane, like, peek.
He didn't even see anything.
That's the worst part. Panda does get that pick onto Spider, though.
A good kill for Mizzou. Hades posted up super far down C long, but that's just going to open the door for the rest of Mizzou to execute onto C as they quickly get back sight before that smoke got down. They do have a lurk here from B as well.
Yeah, absolutely. USF gonna be creeping out here, just trying to get that intel. Vel playing a little bit cautious, cleared everything that he could see. But Mizzou's got one on backside. They were prepared for this push.
Yeah, Drew, the flank out of Panda, finding those kills. Mizzou are on the board for this half and need to string together a couple of rounds if they want to find their way back into this.
Yeah, absolutely. Mizzou does take that round under their belt, so it's not looking too bad for them in this half so far. They could get this, you know, in order and come back from this.
Yeah. USF set up here towards A. 3 of their players, 2 duelists, with that TP down, ready to rotate over towards C. Mizzou in a default. Viper playing off of this wall, and Vel punishes him for it with the op in hand.
Yeah, beautiful shot coming out there. Vel with that operator, you know, just kind of always in a great position when you got a sniper in Vel's hands. It's just awesome to see these plays coming out here from Vel. I always love to see these clever positionings, but very low on health, so he's going to be kind of in a tough position for the rest of this game.
All of Mizzou occupying front mid. TP's on to site as the shock darts come through. Davey does a little bit of damage, trying to see if Alec wants to get off of site. 3 players for Mizzou playing off.
Yeah, Mizzou really keeping that mid space together under their belt. But USF is going to start pushing garage a little bit here. Mizzou's a little bit prepared for it. B-Dog on the other side of that. Hades is going to put down this cage first.
And now the flood comes out. Spider gets out onto site. Alec alone on site will fall early. Drew finds a kill, but Walrus cleans it up. USF in a 3v1. and Sam finds one. There is room for a collat here, but Walrus finds the 3K, and USF have Mizzou on match point.
USF very, very close to taking this game under their belt. But that was so scary for a moment. I really thought that collat was going to come through.
Yeah,
There was just like everything lined up in the universe for just a moment, you know? Just,
there was definitely a world Mizzou won that.
Yeah, absolutely. But overall, not a bad strategy coming out from Mizzou. Having that mid space, you know, wasn't the worst thing in the world for them.
No, definitely not. They do default this Viper wall every single round and preoccupy mid. But USF looking to get a little bit aggressive here in mid with the Omen Neon. The op trying to find a shot but won't register. Val falls. Now Garage is free reigns, but they don't decide to go there. Spider finds one kill, deciding to run away for his life. Walrus gets that smoke down. And a reset here as the numbers are even.
I'm pretty sure Mizzou picked that op right back up too after that. I might be misinterpreting. I thought I heard it, but I guess not. Mizzou's going to go for a little bit of an aggressive play here onto C site. Hades does get the pick onto Sam.
And look at Mizzou. They've completely abandoned this C site. They were completely out, and they decided to just run away. And now their front B running into Davey and Omen. Panda, though, sitting down Davey. Walrus looking for one, finds one, looking for more. Gets blinded, though, and B-Dog finds the kill. Now a 2v2 on match point. Mizzou have to be perfect, but they decide to run away towards the A site, and they're going to get a free bomb plant.
Mizzou has gone through every site on the map in this one round alone, and I think that's really impressive. They are going to play Hell here, possibly having Omen in Heaven, yeah. So they're doing this over-under kind of play here.
But will they expect the Neon here to be short? As Hades trying to stall out time. Went a little bit too fast, though.
Ooh.
And now Spider gets spotted out. Is still winnable. Finds the kill, but doesn't have time to transfer. Alec keeps Mizzou alive.
Absolutely. You know, good round coming out from Mizzou. They did kind of, you know, put the runner on everyone. Everyone just had to, like, run across the map for a minute there. Just keep rotating, and it worked out for them that time. But we'll have to see how it goes for the next few rounds. USF's economy kind of in shambles.
Yeah, back on an eco round. They do have Spider's ult online. Might see something a little bit aggressive as a bunch of players lean towards C, and so do 4 of the players for USF. Spider with
right
that
up
light
against
shield.
this wall. Probably going to pop this ult, absolutely. Runs in here, gets taken out by Alec though. Vel gets the refrag.
Val finding that crucial trade. The ult didn't get much value at all. And all 4 players for Mizzou now just stuck in C long, unsure of what to do, afraid of where the rest of USF could be. But USF took no space anywhere else.
Yeah, USF going to be holding this C still. They do have the Cypher over on A, so the utility is still up and online, but Mizzou is just really set up and heart set on going C here.
A re-hit onto C, investing this Sova. Oh my gosh, look at this. Davey gets behind everyone, but doesn't find a kill. Finds a dink onto Sam, but it's not going to be useful. Now Hades in the 1v3. You think you're the GOAT, Hades. Show us right now.
Hades lock in. Hit only headshots this round right now.
Sheriff in hand, just kind of looking for exit frags, but on this eco round, he has the opportunity to go for it if he wants to.
Cage triggered.
Knows the Sova is close sight, but
Sova knows where he is too, so this is kind of a tough position to be in.
finds the kill onto Sova, but a lot of time has ticked off, and now he doesn't have the cage, doesn't land the shot, and Mizzou take another round.
Yeah, USF getting a little nervous here, I imagine, you know, as these rounds keep creeping up in numbers for Mizzou. They do have those ultimates online, so it's not that they couldn't, you know, take this round, but it seems like they're playing a little bit cautious, trying to hold on to them for a little bit longer. But overall, the ultimates that they have are not bad for them to have. They have Vel with his ultimate online, the Yoru ultimate. That's a lot of intel coming out right there. Davey with that ult online as well. You know, always great for making space, playing post plant, just trying to get people out of the way.
Another tech pause as
Oh, boy.
I could read that Val disconnected, and we can see it here.
Yay! Of course, someone has to disconnect every stream. I think it's a requirement.
At this point, it's every game someone has to disconnect, but
It's like miscellaneous tech pause, and then we see someone disconnect. But it seems like Vel is back, so we're on that recovery. Probably will get out of this tech pause in just a moment here. USF is going to be able to full buy here. Not that they won this last round, but they're out of that save, so not looking too terrible on guns. Their ultimates are great. Mizzou does have 4 ultimates online as well, though.
with the ults online, they're deciding to go 4 towards A. We do see ours in the chat from both sides, so we will be getting right back into it, but this 4 stack here onto this A site, gonna be running into 4 players of Mizzou attacking it. Bomb in hand. They do have Sam deciding to lurk. Both teams going right at each other. Both Neons turning around and stunning. Look at this Omen ult into CT spawn. Alec finds the kill onto Hades, and just like that, they flipped the map and gone towards C.
One of the oldest tricks in the book.
Oh, no! Panda finding one in his rat corner, but Walrus getting the trade.
Another one of the oldest tricks in the books.
Gosh.
This is just, you know, really crazy plays coming out from everyone. The spike is planted, so USF is going to have to play this retake very, very carefully.
A lot of ults in hand for USF. A lot of stuff to play with here as they decide to just walk forward.
2 holding CT.
Not fully aware of these CT players yet, as they might be calling for a save, and that they are. USF losing their 3rd round in a row, needing to reclaim this momentum. They don't want to let Mizzou get too close to being back into this game.
Yeah, well, they do have the rounds to spare at the moment, so calling for a save here isn't the worst thing in the world. They have those 4 ultimates online. At this point in the round, the timer was ticking down very, very fast, and, you know, there was no point in investing those ultimates so late into the round. But USF is going to call for a timeout here and regroup with the coach.
USF needing to reclaim some momentum, losing 4 out of the last 5 rounds. They've had some trouble with this Mizzou default, as similar, a similar storyline to last game as well when Mizzou was on attack, but USF with these 4 ults online, probably going to play a retake on one of these sites and stack the other one like they have been with Cypher. They could get a little bit proactive in mid, but they're definitely going to switch things up here.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like USF is really going to opt for too much mid play. They might have 2 sit on B, but overall, they haven't really been holding garage like we saw Mizzou do when they were on defense.
No,
they haven't really been taking that mid space in general. And as we talked about at the start of stream, the mid space on this map is so, so crucial. There's just so many different angles that are, you know, just right there. And a lot of them do lead straight to sites pretty much. So overall, it is a really important space to keep, but USF is going to go for this stack here.
USF putting that Yoru front B. Going to be an early aggressive play with him TPing out, I would presume. And Mizzou leaning towards mid here, calling for no shenanigans on the outside corners in this 1-3-1. Yoru and Neon versus the world. As Vel walks down, just complete contact, finds his way here with Spider holding window.
Yeah, Vel's going to hold very, very close here. Just trying to, you know, get the angle as soon as possible. Vel does get a pick and teleports out here all the way back into CT.
A crucial kill onto B-Dog on Sova. Now Mizzou with no intel for the rest of this round. And no space really either. Have to make a decision of where to go. Keep in mind they are on match point. They have to be flawless. And they're deciding to lean towards front B here.
Yeah, Mizzou is going to front face this B, immediately, you know, peeking in, trying to get that intel, doesn't see anything, so they're going to move in a little bit closer, waiting for that backside, but Davy Gravy's going to get that headshot.
Davy just fully ready for the swing, gets full concussed though. Drew finds the kill onto Davy Spider with the trade. Panda with another trade, now a 3v2 in favor of USF, but the ultimate economy is boasting for Mizzou. with this Viper ult put down, the Killjoy ult for post plant. Look how far it extends to into C-Link.
Absolutely. This is a really tough ult for them to position through, but they do have that Cypher ult online. They do pop it to get that intel on where Viper is going to be.
Here comes the spam as Vel decided to get onto site, finds one, but didn't find the Viper. Viper with the kill onto Hades, finds a second one, but Walrus closes things out. USF force map 3.
Map 2.
Force map 3.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying now. I was going to say, I don't think we're there quite yet, but we are going to get there, which is very, very exciting.
Split will be the decider for this match. That was a great match on Haven. USF really dominated, kind of gave it away a little bit, but ultimately were able to find the win.
Yeah, absolutely. USF did kind of lose their grip on this map for just a moment, but they did end up taking it back right at the end there and overall coming out on top.
Split, here we come. USF versus Mizzou. Playoff and LAN implications in play. We're going to take a quick break. We'll see you back soon. Mizzou's last difficult series of the season, facing 0-7 Western Kentucky next week, are facing a very tough task here as USF tied it up last game at 1, and now it's all or nothing for both teams.
Absolutely. This is going to be a very, very important game. This determines the series, of course, but it also determines the placements. And that's going to be something that's very, very important for these teams.
USF starting on defense as Mizzou sitting with 4 outside of A, waiting for any sort of fade util, delayed fade util as well, for ultimately walking up.
While we have a moment, let's talk about this team comp really quick. USF is going to run that Yoru, Astra, Raze, Viper, and Fade. This is kind of an interesting comp, but not too unexpected from USF overall. Mizzou is going to force into sight here using the Skydog and the Waylay utility.
Waylay getting out quick, and a quick retake here for USF as the bomb goes down. Planted for main. Panda finding the first pick of the match onto Spider, and now 3 players playing up towards A main. Davey finding a kill on the other side of the map. Drew finding one. Walrus and Veldo getting 2 of their own. And now Omen forced to back up. This fight in heaven about to come through, as well as Viper having the advantage of the swing. Sam finds the kill onto Davey. Omen running for his life. Walrus with the trade, going back for more, but won't find it. And now with the smokes on bomb, goes for the tap and the swing, has to go back, needs time. There's, oh, he barely got it. I don't think he got it.
No, I don't think he got this timing here. It's very, very close. Unfortunate 0.07 second. You know, that's just a really unlucky timing.
He lagged. When he ran onto bomb, he couldn't, like, he tried to hold fort and it wouldn't diffuse. And
yeah, I saw that knife out for a very split second, and I was like, oh,
there was
that
like
was it.
half a second of him not being able to defuse the bomb. Mizzou scraping by the skin of their teeth, and they're going to take that pistol round.
Yeah, Mizzou's going to force up on these guns here, seeing that they won that round. You know, not by too much. It was just a really, really close round altogether. And once again, they're going to go for a little bit of a default here, a 2-1-2 overall, but crossing into mid a little bit, making it kind of more of like a 3-2 split.
USF completely abandoning B site, stacking 4 into this A main choke, and Hades left as the lone player to hold down mid.
Jump peeking for some information, but the Skydog is going to come up mid and just try to clear out Mail.
Hades now walking out, and he hears all these footsteps going into B main. One lone player in Panda is kind of freaking out here in sewers. Finds 3. Vel finding the kill and gets that Guardian for his efforts, but now in a 2v4, Mizzou have the bomb down.
Certainly a play of all time, and USF does sacrifice 2 players to it in sewers, but overall, you know, USF is up a gun. Hades makes contact here.
Last player standing.
Cannot find it. Alec gets the kill onto Hades, and through the wall, Alec finishes it off, and Mizzou with a clean second round here.
Yeah, Mizzou's looking pretty favorable right now. They're playing really well. Their top frag does get taken out, but they're going to be in a place where they can buy some guns back and not feel too bad about it. Overall, their ult's slowly creeping up, but Chamber has gotten significantly closer to that ultimate, 6 out of 8. So it could be pretty soon that we see that Tour de Force come out.
Vel snowballing this op here on the Yoru. Gonna be running into some players here in A main. They're running 4 deep.
Yeah, going for this glass cannon here. Is going to peek out into a blind. Gets the pick, though.
Finds the kill somehow onto Drew. The stars aligned, and now USF with a numbers advantage.
USF looking pretty good here. A little bit of a risky play. Was a little bit uncertain of how this would play out, but Vel got his. So not looking too bad right now. Davey's going to go for some of this information on ramp. His haunt does get destroyed, so that's enough intel to say there's at least one there.
This walk up now as Davey repositioned himself into rafters. B-Dog finds a kill onto Hades, and now Davey gets forced out of heaven as the players all fall back towards ramp. Op still in CT, as now they have 4 deep. trying to execute onto site. Davey having to be the one to hold it down, finds one kill. Vel will fall, and Alec will find the kill onto Davey. A 2v3, and they're rotating from across the world.
Yeah, USF on this pretty long rotate here, a little bit of a long journey. Just trying to wait it out. You know, Mizzou is not entirely unknown to these like very strange rotates. You know, they'll get on site and then decide, actually, we're not going to do that, and you know, completely rotate and flip the map. But USF now caught up here, coming out of CT.
Bomb planted for everything, as USF does still have some util to work with. Flooding out into elbow. All three players on site. Spider finds one kill. Walrus finds a trade, and now all of a sudden it's a 1v1. The bomb is halved. You got to check elbow here. The shot comes down, and Panda finds the kill. They won their bonus round.
Yeah, Mizzou's looking really, really good in this first half of Split. They've been playing in a really, really impressive way. They do play a little bit slower here, but it's been working out very well. They play aggressive, you know, to get that strike onto site. But once they get that bomb down, their post plant is silent.
Yeah. USF needs to do a better job here at maintaining ramp. You can't give up that ramp space early. You really have to fight for it. But on this eco, they're just going to try and scrap by and see what they can get. Having two shotguns here leaning towards mid. And another one in the face of Panda.
Takes
Vel.
out the tour de force so early into the round as well. Beautiful outcome for USF.
USF posted up here in mid. Aids about to get dogged out. Doesn't get fully cleared though, as Spider hits the dog and backs on out. Now, players for Mizzou falling off here towards B. You got to stay crouched, Hades. You can't sit in that corner forever. And now Mizzou in the 4v4 will be leaning towards B. A nice recall. Walrus with two. Sam finds a trade. Now Mizzou with down one number. And they just still decide to flood out. Davey going forward with the Sheriff in hand, finding one. The lone player, Sam, is 1 HP. Vandal in hand, though. USF need this round, and it's going to reset here, 35 seconds left.
Yeah, Mizzou's Viper player is at pretty low health here, so this is looking good for USF in this 2v1.
30 seconds left.
Interestingly enough, that play earlier, you know, Paige just uncrouching.
Yeah.
But it all plays out pretty well for USF.
A re-hit here for Sam. Will get spotted out quickly by Davey. 15 seconds left on the clock. You need 4 of those to just plant the bomb. 10 seconds to go now. Deciding to try to go default, but Vel is built different. Finding the kill onto Sam. A nice thrifty, and USF are back in it.
Absolutely beautiful, beautiful match. Our production team trying to fix a little bit of a key issue going on here. Yeah. Anyways, so let's talk about that Astra play. Aquanix Walrus taking that star back. I love the fake smoke move on Astra. It's just so fun, and it works out so well sometimes. It's just perfect overall.
He definitely loves doing that. We've seen it a lot this series.
We're doing great over here.
Yeah.
We're just having a little bit of a technical issue with one of the buttons, but B-Dog does get that early pick onto Hades, taking out USF smokes.
Hades needing to play a little less aggressive here on their gun round. Now with all that coverage gone, Mizzou has the opportunity here to roam the map free as they dog up into heaven, spotting Spider, who shoots out that dog early on. 4 players here posted up. Drew punishes that jump peek, and Spider will fall. Davey going to have to spam out and get stalled out by these cabbages. Walrus on site, looking for a kill, can't land it. Sam cleans it up, and in a 2v5, USF are back on the ropes.
Yeah, Mizzou uses this opportunity to, you know, push into site, play really aggressive, especially using those sky cabbages to get out of that situation they were in. Really great plays overall coming out here.
Vel finding a kill onto Drew. Gets full blinded though, and Sam will clean it up. Davey now in the 1v3, misses the fade eye. 2 players are kind of low. Both of them stuck onto site. Davey's actually going to go for this. He decides to invest this fatal. and he didn't find any. He was unaware that they'd be on site, and that's going to be a crucial round loss for USF.
USF did lose a pretty important ult there as well. Investing that Fade ult, not the worst call in the world, just really, you know, the timing of it all. Mizzou was not in position for it to come out. This timeout's going to come out from USF's coach. They're going to regroup, try and discuss a little bit. On our end, we are going to figure out whatever's going wrong with the observer cameras.
USF, they've kind of just had a hard time here dealing. It's mainly the mid pressure. They've been facing a lot of mid pressure out of Mizzou, and they've had a hard time kind of contesting these chokes. They haven't really been able to maintain mid, and the one time Mizzou wanted to go for ramp, they just took it instantly. So USF just needing to find a way to hold their ground, or at least retake their ground, and find their way back into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. USF has been on this back foot, but as we've seen, sometimes these haps and just like what side of the map they're on is really the determining factor for their play style. So we'll just have to see how this goes overall. But 1-4, USF got some one ult online. The Astral Barrier, not a bad ult at all. Can be pretty good. Yeah. You know? I'm trying to memorize the scoreboard really quick.
I'm trying to see who she's trying to spectate.
I'm so curious. Who are we spectating right now? We are doing our best over here at USF Esports. Please don't mind the dust. Oh, we love our observer. We're doing our best over here overall. But
and again, Mizzou going for this ramp pressure, just taking it away from USF. USF on an eco here off of that timeout, and now being tasked with having to try and reclaim this. It looks like they wanted to fight up, but Drew is too close. He finds an early kill onto Spider. Hayes is going to fall as well, and Vel finds a kill, but Drew with the 3K and a 4v2. One player of Mizzou leaning in mid here.
yeah, Drew looking absolutely insane in this round. Getting that beautiful 3K. Mizzou's going to use the Element ult to rotate out here, getting over to B site, completely empty, mind you. So they're probably going to get that plant down soon enough. But Drew is at low health, and the Sky is out. So it's going to be kind of difficult for Drew to like recoup from that, but overall, looking good for the round.
Mizzou definitely the dominant force here in Game 3. This last game of this best of 3. USF need to gather some momentum going into their attack half. Attacking on split is super difficult on its own, but Mizzou's making it look super easy.
Absolutely. USF has to lock in to keep continuing through, to keep this placement and to overall just, you know, keep pushing through to the finals.
Davey Gravy pulling the knife out. Sam will put him down. And Walrus with the lone Guardian opts to die to bomb.
Sometimes that's the best thing you can do for yourself. Mizzou is looking really favorable right now. That timing in mid just didn't work out very well for them. Vel, once again, going to go for this operator. You know, it's worked in the past. However, Mizzou's also running an op. They're going to put that op on the chamber, on W Panda. You know, not a bad choice at all.
No, running the op can be strong if they're able to do it in the right way. I mean, they've got to play a little bit slower, and those sight lines are definitely going to be a lot better post-plant. But USF picking the wrong side of the map to place the op as 4 players are quickly attacking this A site. Drew finding an early pick on the Davy. Panda finding that kill onto Walrus. Vel finds a trade, but Sam quickly puts down Spider, and now in a 2v4, oh, he just legs him. A lot of work to do for Hades and Vel.
Yeah, many USF players falling very early into this round. Yeah, Mizzou does take the Cypher free, but USF does get that pick onto Panda. Hades coming out with that little shot there.
You need to speed up a little bit. I'm not sure if they're going to be aware of this flank. Vel is out onto site. Hades is just W-keying it down. Vel finding 2 with the shorty. Does get ulted to slow things down. And now Sam throwing down that molly. It's not going to do anything. It doesn't actually hurt anymore. And
once again, the observer has to fix some things. but it's all okay. Sam does get that final pick onto Hades, which means they do have to rebuy a gun. But overall, USF taking that round under their belt. They could be on their comeback era.
A big, big round that they needed. It looked like it was going to start off really bad, but a nice clutch there out of Vel and Hades in that 2v4. And now a bunch of ults online. They do have this Razel with the Yoru and Astra. And Mizzou with the Viper ult online. Going to be interesting to see what both teams can string together.
Yeah, USF is going to go for a little bit of a default here.
A big fight into mid. Drew finds the kill onto Hades. Hades having a rough game here so far, dealing with this mid pressure. Oh,
Absolutely.
Spider!
The mid pressure coming out as the smoke goes away. Spider does take a pretty big hit there.
Spider almost getting fully caught out with his boombot, and now just 28 health to his name. Mizzou getting everything they want every round, just full mid control. Sam finding that kill onto the lurking Walrus. And that's just going to be a B execute here as USF just falling apart in mid and B main.
Yeah, USF having a lot of difficulty holding this mid spot. Panda getting that kill onto Davy Gravy. The last one alive is Vel with this operator. He might opt to try and save it.
Spike planted.
Trying to get away, but I don't believe he will be able to. Running
Getting pinched
for his
here into
life.
spawn.
No TP to his name. Finds one kill, finds some damage, but Alec puts him down 6-2 Mizzou.
Yeah, Mizzou looking very favorable for this half overall. USF going to have to fight very hard in the second half of this game to get this back under their belt.
USF have a very tough task ahead of them, especially with their current guns. 2 shorties and a Bucky with a couple of classics. Not exactly what you call ideal. 4 ults to their name, though, as Mizzou on their full buy, just leaning towards B and looking to just make this an execute.
Yeah, absolutely. USF not going to encounter anything in mid this time, but B is looking a little bit aggressive. However, Chamber is going to push up ramp here. Bell is waiting. Does get shot out by Panda, though.
Putting Panda down onto 1 HP, but will fall for it. Now the regroup here into mid, as a bunch of shotguns here in mid are what Mizzou will face. Alec finding that kill onto Walrus in B main, pulls these players back towards B, and now we're finally going to see a B execute. As all of USF leaning a bit towards mid, one player ramp.
Watching Mizzou stagger out here, probably going to go for this push very aggressively. Yep, Waylay uses the utility, gets onto site. Sam gets an insane headshot through this smoke.
Spam coming through. Hades will fall, and now Davy in the 1v5 with a Bucky.
He's got that.
I'll pay your tuition if you clutch this.
That is an insane bet to hedge.
And I swear on
I'm
it,
a believer.
I'll give him my full Pokemon card collection if he clutches this.
Oh, that's like big. That might actually be tuition money.
But a bullet to the head will not earn him anything. Instead, it will earn Mizzou a flawless and another round win.
Yeah, USF has these ults online. Just went off the Fade ultimate as well. They're going to force up once again for these guns. Mizzou able to buy without even like really feeling like a dime fall out of their wallet, honestly. They're in such great position right now. However, their ult economy is not the same. They've got that Viper's Pit online, and that's a very, very strong ultimate in itself for attack especially. But as far as their other ultimates go, not as close to being online.
Another A lean out of Mizzou as Waylay playing super close up front in mid. Hades almost getting caught out there with the molly in hand. And now Mizzou fully taking ramp in A main. Deciding to leave ramp, though, and flooding out with that Skydog with this op CT. Gets spotted out. Val doesn't even get a shot off. He's going to fall. And B-Dog opens things up for Mizzou. And now in a 4v5, USF are going to have to reinvest these ults if they want a chance to win.
Mizzou already flooded onto site so quick there. Immediately got that plant down, and there's so many ults, you know, just available to them right now. Mizzou does have that Tour de Force online now. They probably will save that for another round, though.
Davy about to dog them out of CT. One lone player in Raze in heaven might get caught out by these 2 ramp players as Sam finds the kill onto Walrus, finding 3. Sam does it all by himself. Drew cleaning up ramp, and Mizzou with an 8-2 lead in this first half.
Pretty insane round for Mizzou there, especially. Another timeout coming out here, this time from USF.
This is our second time. USF
Yeah,
second
this is our
time out,
second.
yeah. 5 ults online, another eco round. USF on the ropes. Keep in mind how crucial this series is for the playoff implications for USF. Only top 4 qualify. GMU's locked up. Stony Brook's locked up. It's all up to whether or not Mizzou is able to get through this series, and if USF can try and take down Mizzou and the Shockers next week.
Yeah, this is going to be a really tough situation for USF to be in if they're not able to get this game back into their own hands.
It is important that Cleveland State does play Stony Brook, so that will be a very tough task, and they play the Shockers tonight. So there is a world where USF loses this series and still is able to make it, but not a very likely world, as USF really need to take this game and series.
Yeah, absolutely. So USF is going to regroup after talking to their coach, figure out how they want to execute here. They're going to put some stars down. Going to reposition the stars, of course. Got to do that a couple times. It's part of the ritual. Seems like Mizzou is geared up for an A push here, though. Davy Gravy ready for that. Going to have that Haunt out and ready to go. Mizzou already rotating out after that.
Yeah, USF, again, just Hades kind of getting bullied here in mid, just having a hard time this entire half trying to maintain it. Panda finding an early kill onto Davy will stop all of Mizzou. Again, it's like we saw in map 1, just this default out of Mizzou is destroying USF. They're having such a difficult time at reading it, and they're getting punished for it.
Yeah, virtually rotating off of B site here, leaving Spider as the only one, while Mizzou enters Heaven completely uncontested. This is going to be a really tough retake for USF.
Spider hoping to get a couple before falling down, as he inevitably will. B-Dog finding the kill onto Spider off of that Omen blind, and now 3 USF players, Sheriffs in hand, have to do practically the impossible. And this lurk behind Vel, it almost got there. This Chamber just walking up.
This is so scary right now.
Oh, knife Vel. Knife him. He's going to.
That's so messed up.
Panda finding the knife onto Vel. Alec finding a kill onto Hades. Now Walrus in the 1v5 gets shut down. And 9-2 is the scoreline. USF on the brinks of elimination.
USF, they have to win this round. They have to win this round. It'll be the 3-9 blessing if they do.
How'd that go last game?
It was almost there. Almost.
Yeah,
but
it pretended it was there.
okay. This guy's so mean to me, guys. This guy's so mean to me.
5
But,
ults.
Yeah, 5 ults online. This isn't looking impossible. It's all or nothing in this round. They might as well use them. They've been saving them for a pretty long time now.
Spider and Hades on Pie Watch here as they go into this last round. Tour de Force is out. Driving the Chamber back is Davies Fade Dog. Again, Waylay getting so much value. Just W keying it up into mid. Viper ult goes down B main questionably. And now all of Mizzou occupying mid knows that Viper doesn't really lean towards A ever, but still coming here towards B.
Yeah, Mizzou going to play very aggressive into Heaven. Basically gets all the way through with no issue at all. They're going to blind out. One gets taken out. Drew gets that refrag onto Spider, though. No more ultimate online. Walrus gets another one, though.
Spider ripped that ult, but couldn't land it. Hades finds the kill onto Panda, keeping his ult alive. Alec with a kill onto Walrus. We see the Omen ult come down, and it will be a plant onto A as the lone Sam in mid deciding to flank here through B. 2 players in CT completely unaware of it and taking their time. They've got to speed up, but Sam will find Davy, and now it's a 2v2. Sam with the Viper ult online as well. Shorty in hand, finds one, looking forward, but he pulled out the op instead of the Shorty. Strongest gun attached, and the Shorty in hand, he finds one shot, but Hayes doubles his kills and finds the round.
Beautiful, beautiful read from Hades. Just knowing that you just kind of have to rush that Viper's Pit once it goes down. You can't sit there and wait. You just have to go for it. Really, really tough half for USF overall. But this could be the turn of the tides here. They could take this back.
It's just it's a matter of fragging.
Yeah.
Well, they're also just having they had a really difficult time facing that Mizzou default, but they got to land their shots. They got to put themselves in better positions. Now, moving into attack, it's going to be very difficult. I personally have always hated attacking on split. It's horrible.
I definitely have had some moments where I wonder why. Why am I on split? Why am I attacking on split? Why am I playing split right now? I could have gone outside today.
Why did I not dodge?
Why did I not Q dodge? Yeah. No one tell Valorant though.
USF in a 0-2-3, leaning towards A. Val making noise in mid along with Davey. Hades finding the kill onto Panda. That was pretty interesting as he TP'd out. But now B-Dog left alone. Heaven has two of his teammates join him, and USF get a free A site.
3 going out onto ramp here, getting pushed down Heaven a little bit by the raised
Look at
nade.
this Omen too.
This is insane. They're going to get pinched so hard here.
A complete pinch as Alec finds both of them, rotating all the way through T-spawn. And now Vel is left in this 3v4.
So many stuns coming out on the site there. 2 blinds, stuns, everything.
All 3 players playing elbow, but unfortunately it will go the way of Mizzou. Now Spider trying to find this kill, but cannot. Sam closes it out. Mizzou takes the pistol round and enters double digits.
Yeah, Mizzou looking pretty good here. A little bit of a scrappy pistol round for USF. But overall, you know, Mizzou's going to come out on top, and this could potentially set this game in stone for Mizzou.
USF needing a round win, and looks like it has to be this one as they are forcing into this round. Like the poker IMs that USF Esports just dropped, it is all in for USF.
That is true. If you're interested in that,
sign up.
You should join the Discord that we have for USF Esports. If you are a USF student, IMs are completely free for you to join.
Discord.gg/USF Esports. USF having the guns in hand, need this round desperately. Vel with the Outlaw trying to spot out where this Omen could have TP'd to. Here's the drop, knowing he's not on the angle anymore. USF are heavily geared to hit this B site.
Absolutely. Vel's not aware of the sky, playing close though.
Alec finding the kill onto Spider. Vel with a nice quick scope. Davey finds the kill onto B-Dog, but a lot of damage done to Vel. Now the Bucky is going to drop Vel. And in a 2v3 now, USF with not many guns in hand, a Bulldog and a Classic have to get it done. Hades has to be the one as they're regrouping here in mid. Will cross the Chamber sightlines, but Chamber walks away just in time. And now Hades off that sound takes Heaven.
Yeah, USF is going to get Heaven here. Little do they know, 2 are on site. They
He
take
knows there's
one out.
another. Oh, he finds the dink. That's a very crucial dink. The tap goes down. They're unaware where Chamber could be. Hugging this wall, Panda finds the kill. A team ace out of Mizzou, and a detrimental loss for USF.
USF in a really, really tough position after that force. They're not going to be able to get these guns soon enough to fight back and keep, you know, in the running very well. They're going to be struggling for probably the rest of this game.
The rest of this possibly short game here. USF, their best gun is a Bulldog. And it's in the hands of their best player, Vel, on that Yoru. The flash into ramps to get this raise up and active. They will take it, but nobody's home. Spider looking to just walk through here.
Spider playing super aggressive, takes out the Sky.
Finds that kill, that crucial kill, and now flooding into heaven. Sam on the rope finds Spider as he tried to enter. And now USF in a 4v4 and 2 players in heaven getting ready to flood out. Bomb finally going down. Look at this, 2 players, 3 players here for USF playing up into CT, trying to get up and active, forcing these players on Mizzou to back up. And the Bulldog in Vel's hands, not able to find a single one as Sam puts him down. Drew following right behind. Walrus and Davey having to do it all on their own. Drew and Sam, it's their show. And Mizzou are on series point.
Mizzou looking really good here. Their aggressive plays, despite being pushed back so far by USF, they can just retake so aggressively, and it's been working out for them so well, especially on this map.
Match point.
USF with basically nothing to their name. Bunch of light shield guns. Surprisingly, somehow have a full buy. Do they win 9 rounds in a row?
I believe in them. You know, maybe they could. Maybe this game could go triple overtime and some crazy, crazy stuff happens. But for right now, Mizzou's looking really good.
Sam boasting a 24-5 scoreline. USF
Absolutely insane.
going towards mid, right into him. Drew on the swing out, will escape, not with a kill. And look at this, Sam, shorty in hand, throws down the molly, going to find Vel, and just like that, USF in a numbers disadvantage. Spider does find the dink. Panda finding the kill onto Hades. This could be it. Spider gets the kill, but Sam with the shorty in hand. Now it's a 2v4. You're facing a flank. They're coming from everywhere. Panda with the 3K, and Mizzou take the series.
What an insane round coming out from Mizzou, playing so aggressively, knowing that this was the last round for them. They knew, they locked onto that.
Yeah. No, Mizzou definitely played super dominant there. The first game, they showed their dominance and then kind of wavered a little bit, but map 2 got stomped, and then map 3 did the stomping. They played super well.
Yeah, absolutely. They played amazingly in this. They definitely have earned their placement so far in
for sure.
in these tournaments. So we're just gonna have to see how this goes. You know, wishing them luck.
Yeah. Mizzou improves to 4-2, facing Western Kentucky next week. USF falls to 3-3 and must win next week at Wichita State if they want a shot at finishing top 4. Thank you guys for joining. It's always fun casting Valorant. We'll see you next week. Go Bulls.